Hey everyone, before we get into episode 57 of Nintendo Podcast System, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Southampton Game Fest 2018, which is the big event that I'm running in Southampton with all sorts of different things going on. We have a Mario Kart 8 tournament, an Overwatch tournament, we've got several different bits of cosplay, a retro area with over 20 different consoles from the last 5 decades. We've got competitions, we have VR setups and experiences, and lots of local devs who are working on games which are coming to Steam, Switch, Xbox, PS4 and other consoles, including one that is developing for the Neo Geo of all things. Crazy people. So, we've still got loads more to be announced as well, and over the next couple of days there'll be lots of other things going up on the Facebook page and on the website. So if you want to check out the website for further details and tickets, which are only £8, you can go to southamptongamefest.com. That's Southampton, Southampton, Game, Game, Fest, Fest.com for tickets right now. Only £8, and a child under 10 goes in free with every full ticket purchase. Thanks very much everyone, and enjoy the episode.
Hello and welcome to Nintendo Podcast System episode 57 with myself, Matthew Gibson, and joining me as always is Jack Gorn, and in addition we have a special guest, Ollie Jameson.
Hey.
Hi guys, how we doing?
We're doing good. Ollie, thanks for coming back onto the show.
Thanks very much for having me. It's a pleasure as always. So.
Well, you have good gaming taste, so I don't know why I'm like trying to be too hosty. I don't know. I'm just trying to like.
Oh, you're flattering me right off the
bat.
No,
but like, no, because like we talk so casually before recording. Now we're talking casually again, but like when I do the intro, it's hard to be as casual. I don't know.
I know what you mean.
Anyway, Ollie, you have been on the show before. I think it's been like about a good year and a half.
Yeah, I think I was on episode 40. Yeah. So we were talking about Breath of the Wild back then. It just come out. So.
So tell us about yourself for our new listeners.
I for a couple of years I ran a website called Minus World, which is sort of website about video game culture and about the sort of creative aspects of gaming. So everything from sort of like art, music, fashion, just looking at things sort of around games. Being totally honest, I haven't updated the site in a while because of university commitments, which I'm sure you guys sort of understand. But I like Nintendo a lot, so I think that's why I'm on here.
Yay! We all like Nintendo. Yay!
Let's bring a discussion. Right. We've spent like about a good like half an hour just simply chatting instead of actually doing the podcast. So for the show tonight, or this morning or whatever, that old joke, we will be doing predictions for the direct. We believe, or at least I believe, it will be on the 13th. Mainly because of Splatoon 2 data miners may have found out the date, because they found out that a stage was going to be released, but it's been patched out and pushed back to 13th, so that'll probably be the date then. So we still have time for predictions, so we'll be doing that, and of course some other news stories including Pokemon Let's Go. We also have the What Have We Been Playing section, as well as a section devised by Ollie himself. We're celebrating everything else in Super Smash Bros. Apart from the fighters. So from the music to the bosses, even stickers and trophies. look forward to that.
Stickers? Really? Stickers?
Who knows?
Don't get me started on stickers. Save it for later. Save it for later.
Yeah, so it should be a good episode. Before we head into the next session, Ollie, what has been our opening music?
Our opening music. Let me remember. I've got to remember. You can edit this, right? Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
No.
All right. So our opening music, I've picked a number from Smash Bros on the Nintendo 64. It's the music that plays during the sort of like how to play video that plays when you sort of leave the game, sitting on the title screen for a bit. And it's a kind of, I like the music in the original Smash Bros because there isn't really like a sort of set house style to it yet. Like from Melee onwards, everything was very sort of orchestral and grand, but Smash 64 is a bit funky. It's a bit weird, you know. And I thought, you know, considering we're kind of going to be talking about the weird stuff in Smash, the stuff everybody forgets, I put a bit of music in that everybody forgets as well. So
yeah,
I've forgotten.
Yeah, so we hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm sure it'll be another over 2 hour episode like we always do. Because even if we say let's try and keep it under 2 hours, we always go over 2 hours. It's just the
You always go over 2 hours.
well, okay, I probably do. Maybe, but case in point, the show always goes on for 2 hours or more. We haven't had actually. Let me check. When was the last time? Let's see.
It doesn't matter. Let's just get on with
Doesn't
it.
matter.
we're gonna
It
do
does go on
this.
2 hours.
We're gonna do this in 20 minutes. We're gonna bang it out. That will be fine.
Oh God, no.
Don't worry about it.
That's asking the impossible, man. You know, just not happening. Okay, so wasn't that recent? Episode 54 was like just under 2 hours. But then before then, the last one was like last. Yeah, so like if it's been under 2 hours, it was just under 2 hours. The last one that was like an hour and a half was over a year ago. Jesus. Anyway, I'm just padding for time right now.
Anyway, let's go.
Let's
go
move into the
section,
next
because
section.
otherwise we're here forever.
So this is the new section right now. We don't have too much apart from Nintendo Direct predictions. But you know, I think they are still worth mentioning. So first of all, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, in addition to Super Mario Party, will be playable for the first time in the UK, not in the world, at EGX 2018, which will be at the NEC Birmingham from Thursday the 20th of September to Sunday the 23rd of September.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
You guys are going, so you should probably know that.
No, we don't. What, really?
I've not even booked my tickets yet. But I've not booked my train tickets yet. I've got the actual Saturday ticket.
Yeah.
But Matt, you're going on the Thursday, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going Thursday. If I could get something sorted out, I may be able to go down on Friday as well. But so far, definitely Thursday. Thursday's a lock, basically.
It's so annoying that you're going to be able to play everything before I do.
But
in
you've
terms
already
of
played
Pokemon.
Smash like a month before I did.
Well, this is true, but you'll
That's
get to play
fine.
Pokemon, Super Mario Party, possibly Kingdom Hearts 3.
Persona
Ah.
5 Dancing in Starlight. Very exciting.
Yeah, I'm not going to play that one, but yeah,
Yeah, I
okay.
don't blame you. Yes, that was like a quick update. Quickly there.
If you come into EGX, why don't you come say hello to us? We're not scary.
Well,
Matt is.
I'm not sure I could speak that much about myself, but moving on. We got another new trailer for Pokemon Let's Go, as well as a new bundle for the Switch with the game. Yeah, I'm not too sure what to make of this, to be honest. I'm like,
I quite like the actual design of it. I thought it was quite a cool. I like the back of the Switch. It's got like all the Pikachu's and Eevees running around on it. That's quite smart.
oh yeah, the bundle itself I think looks really nice, especially the Joy-Con.
Yeah.
I like the color choices there.
Yeah.
I'm just a bit gutted that we've got a yellow Joy-Con, like not neon yellow, just yellow, and it isn't for Wario. I'm a little bit upset by that.
That's
you
for
know.
Pikachu.
We've got a Donkey Kong one, haven't we? That's yellow already for Joy-Cons, haven't we? I don't know.
No.
Do we?
Yeah,
Is that
sure.
is that real?
I don't think so.
I'm sure we have a yellow one already.
We have a yellow one for arms.
Oh, arms. That's
Yeah.
it. Sorry, I thought it was Donkey Kong.
All right. Well, I don't know. More Joy-Con colours in the world can't be a bad thing, surely. So
This is true.
I hope so.
more choice for everyone. I don't
Well-
know. The design of the system, they like a sort of repeating pattern, Nintendo, don't they? They like a bit of a sort of collage of stock artwork. That seems to be a thing they're quite keen on. So
That's
Well, this sort of goes into our sort of next point as well, though, with the fact there's a new console. Everyone's already bought Switches already, and now if they want this extra console, what are you going to do? You're just going to buy a new one and just you can't transfer your saves or stuff like that. So this is going to be a problem, isn't it?
it's more like just for like they haven't done it before. I mean, they have done it before. Like 3DS or like a lot of like special editions. It's just a pain, but it's like, you know, at least in America it's gonna be like $400 for the whole bundle.
I mean that's not bad because you get the Pokeball with it as well in the bundle, don't you?
Yeah.
The actual
The Pokeball
like,
in the
extra
game.
controller
Yeah.
Pokeball thing. Yeah. So I suppose that's not so bad.
But if it's for the Joy-Con though, then yeah. I'm hoping the Joy-Con at least come out separately, like they did with the Splatoon 2 ones.
How much are standard Switches now? Just out of curiosity.
Like 280. They're still the same price, I believe.
280.
Yes, it's still at
Right.
280
Yeah.
quid over here in UK.
So well, it's not too. It's still about 350, isn't it? It's around there. So
Probably.
it's not too bad.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's a good.
you get in a game. The games are about what 50 quid, aren't they, or 60
Yeah.
quid now? But
That's it. Yeah.
I think when you look at the audience though for Pokemon Let's Go, you know, they're trying to get that Pokemon Go crowd. Like it's a good jumping on point for people, you know.
It's definitely the game to do it on. To be honest, to get a new Switch out there.
Oh god, yeah,
It will
Pokemon.
sell.
You know, kids will love it.
Yeah.
Especially when
I
there's lots
think-
of people transferring from like the 3DS to the Switch now and still a bit undecided whether to do it or not. I think that's a big thing. Look, there's a Pokemon console now. Why don't you do it? Kind of thing. It's edging people onto it a bit more.
I think a similar bundle for Smash also leaked a while ago.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's been spotted that it has the same branding and the same structure of notices for the online system, so I think it could actually be real. And it's basically like the Joy-Cons are made up of the Smash symbol with the two lines.
Yes,
Then
I
on
did
the-
like the look of that. It looked really smart. Yeah.
I think so. But it looks out of place if you're not playing it out of your Switch though. Like if you're just holding it like two simultaneously, it just looks like one with just one straight line, and then two with like just another plus sign.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know.
Well,
Yeah, I
you'll
get
just
what you
you'll have to
mean.
you'll have to buy another set just for when you're playing Split. You know, if you've got the money to drop on these special edition systems, I'm sure
You
I'm
have
sure
both.
another set of Joy-Cons will drop in the bucket. So,
Yeah, I don't know. Like it looks nice though. Like for a new bundle for newcomers, which I think Pokemon Let's Go will draw in. I think it looks
absolutely.
it looks great. As for the game itself, we did get a new trailer. I'm
Yes,
not
I've
sure.
seen this.
I'm still thinking it looks fine, but it's not doing anything to like really excite me like it did for Sun and Moon. So they showed off how HMs are used in this game. So like Sun and Moon, you don't actually use HMs. You just call Pikachu or Eevee to use the special moves like cut, surfing, fly, stuff like that. Or the surf is like you're not actually on an actual surfboard.
Okay.
Don't know how that works, but yeah.
that's pretty gnarly. That's pretty
Yeah,
bodacious.
It's gnarly.
You know?
Gnarly, dude.
And then fly, I think you have you sit on this chair with balloons on it and you just float up.
Yeah, that is a
Fly.
bit odd. That is a bit weird.
That is a
Like,
bit weird.
in a world, because think about it, these Pokemon they can fly in the sky. Why are you flying with balloons?
I think
That's
it's
for
just to
balloon
make
fight. That's not Pokemon.
I think it's just to make sense for the gameplay, but yeah, it does.
Yeah, no, I'm only messing. I'll tell you what, it looks gorgeous. It looks really good. That scene in the trailer with the surfing, I thought that's some good water. Like, it just looks nice,
Oh,
you know.
are you that Miiverse guy commenting about
Maybe.
waters and video games?
Maybe I can't disclose, but you know, no. But seriously, I think there are points where I saw it where I thought this is looking a bit soulless. You know, they've gone for this very clean 3D look. You know, I'm used to there being a a bit of a rough edge to it, you know.
Right.
But no, it's got nice lighting in it, that kind of thing. Really good music as well. Those orchestral sort
Oh,
of sounding renditions.
I'm liking the music. Yeah, that's probably gonna be my high point with the game, to be honest.
I think the thing for me is looking at it now. It's got the one thing which I always look for in a Pokemon game, which is I want it to have cities in it that I actually want to live in real life. That's what I'm always looking for. I'm looking for that good street furniture and like nice architecture.
Right.
You know, it's all looking nice. You know, I'd go there. I'd go on holiday to. Is it Kanto it's set in? Yeah,
This
that's
is
right.
Kanto, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go on holiday to Kanto out of Pokemon Let's Go.
Cool.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for the trailer. Moving on, Civilization 6 has been announced among other titles like Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition, Final Fantasy the Crystal Chronicles, or whatever it was, Remastered
Yes,
Edition.
Crystal Chronicles announced today, wasn't
yeah.
it?
The
Yeah.
WiiWare one.
I think so. I'm not too sure.
I think it was on the GameCube originally. I
Oh, is
believe.
that? Oh, yeah, no, that's right.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
getting-
I think GameCube
Spin-offs. The
originally.
spin-offs were on WiiWare, weren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah. But there's still good announcements, which probably were supposed to be in the direct. So that's the thing. All these games just sort of got announced a few like hours after it was supposed to be out. So
Yeah.
it was a little bit strange. But I think a lot of the companies set up their like tweets and Facebook posts beforehand, so it all goes out when required, kind of thing. So maybe there was some sort of issue there where they just announced them accidentally, and rather than going back and waiting for the direct to come out or something. I don't know. Maybe it was just a coincidence. Who knows? But yeah, it's cool to get those games on there. I mean, Civ 6, I think it's going to be quite a big online game for Switch because I know that it's a fairly like I don't know the best way to describe Civ on Steam, but there are some dedicated players to that game, big time. So be interesting to see how that works on the Switch. If I understand it.
I think it is.
Final Fantasy-
No.
Sorry, Matt.
Oh,
Go on.
I was just gonna say, like, it is good to get another big third-party title on the Switch.
Yeah,
That
definitely.
was it.
Getting a lot. No, we're getting a lot of these sort of very like PC leaning titles. Like Diablo 3 was confirmed not long ago.
Yes,
You know,
yeah.
it's good to see. Maybe it's the interface of the Switch. You know, having the touchscreen, things like that. That sort of like means it can adapt those games. Where you know, to be honest, I don't really like the idea of playing a game like Civ on a console generally.
I mean, I don't understand how you're supposed to like play it on the TV without like a mouse or anything. It doesn't seem to like. I know you can use controller and stuff, but it just doesn't seem correct to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I found that with games like Tropico as well, or SimCity, that kind of thing. You know?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, you need mice to sort of play them sometimes.
The Sims. The idea of playing The Sims
The
on
Sims
console
worked-
horrifies me.
The Sims worked well on PlayStation, to be fair, on PS2 and PS3, but yeah, it did need a lot of adapting to get that to work. So, but yeah, hopefully we'll see a Sims game on the Switch, eh?
You never know. You never know. I don't know where The Sims is at the moment. I don't. You know.
I think it's slowly dying off.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I was listening to the soundtrack for the original Sims recently. Bloody hell, it's a killer. Some really like nice jazzy stuff. You know,
Really?
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
it's good. Some quite sad kind of piano numbers in there as well.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. My only console Sims experience is the DS version of Herb's Sims in the City,
Oh,
which I wouldn't
man.
recommend to anybody. So
If you've ever played the PSP version, I'd feel sorry for you because that is the slowest, most horrible like loading time game I've ever played. It's so bad, but yeah. Shall we move on, guys? Or is there any more news?
No, we're moving on to probably one of the more heated topics in the past week. Cloud saves. They are
Yes.
still a promised feature of Nintendo's online service, which we still don't know anything about, despite it coming out
Yeah.
this month. It's gathered about a fair bit of controversy in the recent week because it's been found out that not every game will be supporting cloud saves.
Yeah.
And two big ones, including Pokemon Let's Go and Splatoon 2. The reasoning behind this is to prevent cheating. For example, Pokemon, you could duplicate items and other Pokemon in Splatoon 2. You'd be able to get back to another rank as you did previously. Yeah, this has been a bit bit heated, really. So what are
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on this?
I've got a lot of heat for this on Twitter for like sort of saying I don't really understand why we need cloud saves. So I can. Right, so everyone was sort of like, I put on Twitter, I was like, I don't really understand why we need it. We haven't had it for a year and a half on the Switch anyway, so I wasn't really that fussed about them anyway. I don't use cloud saves personally very often. I think I've used it for Final Fantasy VII on Steam because you have to. There's no option to save manually. It's just really annoying. And also on Xbox when you were playing like Xbox 360 games. You have to download if you play them on Xbox One. You have to use the cloud to save anything on there from in terms of saving games. So that's the only time I really use cloud saves. But also on Xbox, so as a really good example why I don't use it, Monster Hunter Worlds. I was playing on someone else's console with my profile. Played a whole day through around theirs and maybe did about 4 or 5 hours of gameplay. So. Quite a lot in Monster Hunter, to be fair. Come back to my console, downloaded the profile again to find that the whole save was corrupted and I'd have to go back to where it was originally anyway. So I lost basically a whole day of Monster Hunter raiding and stuff. So
they're not something you can really rely on. You've got to kind of have them alongside, like, old-fashioned saving.
Yes, definitely. So it's just, I can understand... In some, like the same about Pokemon, there's a lot of chances of people like duplicating like actual Pokemon and things like that, which you can understand why they would stop it, but it still seems a bit of a strange concept to just not have it entirely. But with Splatoon, I can 100% agree why they don't have cloud saves in that game, because the fact that if you can go back levels and forward levels and things like that, it's just why would you need that? I don't understand. It's just,
to be fair though, they probably shouldn't be saving things like levels locally. Surely that should all be tied to your profile.
That's exactly what I was going to question, because I asked Matt this yesterday. Isn't Splatoon 2 like linked to your profile anyway? This is what I didn't quite understand. I'm sure the leveling system is, but I don't know about the actual like items and single player and stuff like that. You might lose all that if you were to like transfer.
See, that's. Talking about the level, I think it is. It must be because it is on Splatoon 2, like you said, I believe. So that could be.
It just doesn't make sense.
It's just I just hate it that like nothing can be saved now, because like you don't have a way to trade gear or anything. So like if you do lose it and you lose all the gear that you trained up to perfect, you'll lose all of your current loadout and stuff like that, and like. It's not as easy as just rebuying the weapon, because you always have to like regrind to get the abilities in your gear. And then of course there's the single player stuff as well. So I just don't like the fact that like it's granted I don't think we know everything right now, but like it would be unfortunate if it is just because of that thing, whereas like, everything else will be at risk.
Yeah, I think for other games it would work fine, but like indie games and stuff like that, you don't really need to. You quite easily just save your cloud save for single player games and stuff like that. But I think multiplayer games, there's going to be a little bit of a should we really be doing this kind of thing. But
I think it is a bit rich when you're sort of like selling it to people. You're paying money for it, and they're pushing that as a big reason why you should subscribe to their online system. I mean, to me, it really just. It shows me that nothing's changed. I got a bit of an anecdote here, right? So probably kind of, I guess maybe like late 2008, sort of 2009 time, my Wii stopped reading discs. I was about 11 at this point, just to make people feel old. But the Wii stopped reading discs, which, as you can imagine, was a big deal. Big deal then. So I sent it off to Nintendo for repair, or I was going to send it off, and they basically said, "Look, we can't guarantee any of your save data will still be on it when you get it back." So I went out to the shop as a naive kind of kid. I bought the Nintendo branded SD card for far too much money, and I came home to copy all my save files onto the SD card, and I find that you can't copy a save file for any online game. So you can't copy a save file for Smash Bros or Animal Crossing or anything like that. But the fact is those were the games that I actually cared about the save file for, because those are the ones that I put time into. Of course you can understand why, but back then I remember thinking, well, that's the save file I'm worried about losing. So what was the point? But in the end, it was completely fine when it came back. But but it's strange to think. Yeah, but it's strange to think that that was 10 years ago, and it's the same idea, I suppose. And you kind of think maybe they should be adapting the way their games work to accommodate this if they're gonna charge people for it as a feature.
It's definitely it is definitely a problem that needs to be sorted. I do agree with you there, Ollie. But it's just like you were saying, do we need both like the cloud saves and the physical saves? Otherwise, you just won't be able to save all the time. I think the main problem with this overall is, say you've gone out somewhere for the day, you've taken your Switch with you, you've got no Wi-Fi access anywhere, no 3G, for example. It's unlikely, of course, but let's just say you can't get connected. What happens then if it's forced to cloud saves? You can't save the game. What happens when you come back to Wi-Fi as well? Will it then try to save something else? There's lots of issues with it for me, for cloud saves with a console which is physically moving all the time, kind of thing. It seems strange to me. But...
Well, I feel like see the thing I was thinking of, like if it forces cloud saves, I thought no, actually that could be happen with like local play as well. But like even then, the Switch has like no, actually, not really.
It needs if it's like a backup system, like you've got your physical save on the console, then that saves to the cloud save. I'm happy with that. That's fine.
I assume that's what it was. I assume that's what it is with things like PSN. I mean, absolutely. I think a big thing for me as well in terms of this, because it's a paid online service, it's so cheap compared to the other consoles that I really can't. I as a student, I just don't have PSN. I can't afford it. It's too much money. I know it's only $5 a month left, but it adds up. But I feel like with the Switch, it's sort of like affordable enough. Is it £20 for the year? Yeah. Is that right? I remember the PSN prices went up, and that's when I decided not to renew it. There's nothing to say that Nintendo can do the same one day, but
So compare all three. You've got £20 for Nintendo's, you've got £40 for Xbox, and it's about £50 now for the PS4 one, I believe. So yeah, it's still the cheapest on the market at the moment. How long that will last, who knows?
Mm-hmm. But it's good value for money. You're getting the free NES games, which
there's quite a few on that list now as well. There NES games, which is strange.
The thing about that though is like I feel like it's coming at the price of the Virtual Console though. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's not really exciting though, is it? Like, yeah, having online functionality is cool. Not
when we've already bought these games for the 3DS and Wii U or Wii previously.
I feel like
that's true.
It would be more exciting if it was like GameCube games. The things that people actually want, like being able to play like Smash Melee or Mario Kart Double Dash or Kirby Air Ride online. I thought that'd be a much bigger sell.
But you know what? I think they could get away with charging more than £20 for those games, probably each.
I
reckon they could probably charge about £40 for some to download Melee, and I think people would buy it. I think they'd pay that.
I don't expect it to stay at £20 for long, in my opinion.
I don't think the GameCube games as part of the service, but I think like GameCube games just like as a revival of Virtual Console, because I think Reggie has confirmed that Virtual Console is isn't going to be coming to the Switch.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll bring those games there in some form, and I doubt they're all going to be tied to that, because I don't think they're going to give away their entire back catalogue for £20.
Oh yeah, no.
Even if it's a separate subscription fee or something. But the other thing to consider with these NES games is that they've added online play to some of them. They're sort of pushing this as a big feature, and I think, look, to be honest, I don't know anyone in 2018 who's going to be wanting to play that NES Dr. Mario online. I don't.
Wow.
I'm a big Dr. Mario man, but
there are some people. I am one of those people.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt there'll be some people. I know one now. That's one person. But I just think to myself,
just need to find some more, man.
Yeah, they'll be out there. You never know. Maybe this will lead to something. I'd like to see that. I tweeted about this recently. I really want to come on Twitter and see people talking about Balloon Fight. Like, I want them to add something to it that's going to cause some conversation. I think you're trying to you want to create almost like a kind of book club vibe around these games when they release. So they're adding
leaderboards and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Leaderboards, challenges, or something to get people talking. They've added multiplayer, which is this sort of taking turns thing, like on an actual NES. I just think, what's the point? You know, if you're local, there's a bit of fun in that. But I just think,
If you're online
if I'm
and
playing
just play
Zelda
single player.
online, say we're playing Zelda online, two of us, I don't want to take turns at playing. What I want to see is both of our games running side by side so we can race each other or help each other or something like that,
Or two players on the screen and on that like Zelda map would be excellent, to be fair. I think that'd be pretty cool to see.
This is it. It kind of makes me wish they'd got someone like M2 to. I mean, maybe, we don't know for certain, but like someone like M2 who I know will add that extra bit to these games. Like what they did with Sega's games on 3DS, and some of these shoot 'em ups they've ported recently.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, at the end of the day, we don't know. Maybe they'll talk about it in the direct. But
Hopefully.
it seems
Watch
like
this space.
it seems like we're getting a very basic sort of setup in terms of features, though.
Yeah. It is a worry, and it does sort of turn me off from purchasing it if it wasn't for the fact that I have to have it to play Mario Kart online or Splatoon online.
Yeah,
I think
but
that's the only thing.
See, I don't like the mentality of like, oh, I have to buy for it anyway, so yeah, what's the point in complaining? But it's like, the main thing, getting back to cloud saves, is like, they've promised this. And Ollie, you were talking about this earlier on. It's like, they promised this, but now they're just taking it away. That's why I think a lot of people are up in
They're not
arms.
taking it away, though, are they? There's just it's big games.
Yeah, but like,
they're not
delivering
delivering it.
Promise. Like, even though it
delivering
seems... Oh, go on. Like...
No, carry on.
Like, even though, like, they do, like, you presumably still have stuff like Zelda, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which I'm fine with, because, like, those are big games. I'd actually be furious if I lost, like, Breath of the Wild, save file. But there are other people that, like, have put in so much time just to grind in Splatoon 2. But they're just getting, like, snubbed out of everything just because out of the fear that, like, they may be so low as to, like, reinstall just to get a higher rank.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah, I think this is it. It's it comes back to like with the Wii, the games that don't have it are the ones that you're going to want to use it on, like Pokemon, for example.
I feel
But
surely there must be like at least some workaround somehow. But then again, I can't know because I'm only a person doing a podcast, and I don't even study games.
Yeah, I don't want to tell people how to make games because I don't know. But it seems to me that things like statistics. I think most multiplayer games would attach them to some profile so that they're out of touch of the player. I'm sure on the Wii U,
I didn't need cloud saves for my Tetris games. God damn it,
listen, you don't want to lose those high scores.
Yeah.
True.
But I think if I woke up tomorrow and my Zelda save file was gone, like. Yeah, I'd be a little bit gutted because I've put hundreds of hours into it. But I guess I'm just not the kind of person who's gonna get furious and angry about it.
It's a big fear on the Switch is losing saves, and the main problem coming in the future is battery life. So on the go, how long are you going to last for, kind of thing. We're okay at the moment, but I think in the next year or two, we could have a few Switches which start degrading pretty quickly. So
of course, yeah.
There's a lot of things with cloud saves and battery life. It really worries me big time, to be honest.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Right. Moving on, though, to something probably more cheery. Nintendo Direct. They're always mini Christmases, I guess, throughout the year. So this is going to be the big September one. Everyone has been clamoring for ages, ever since E3.
Oh, people have been clamoring, all right. People have gone mad about this. Like, look,
you're going off about this, like just before.
Do you know what? Right, I'm just gonna go out right there and say it. Just chill out about Nintendo Directs. Just chill out. They're great. I love them. I get really excited for them. It's always full of surprises. It can be funny or whatever. It's great. We all like them. But just
so
chill out. Just calm down. Those games, they're all going to come out. They're all coming eventually. Smash Bros is going to come out on December the 7th, and everything's going to be in it. The stuff that they've announced and the stuff that they haven't. I know we want to know stuff. I know it's exciting to get hyped and analyze it and everything. But just come on, just chill out a bit. Just calm down. Leave Nintendo alone. You know, they're just trying to do their job.
Just leave Nintendo alone.
Just Britney all over again, you know. But no, seriously, you know, and obviously, you know, in this case, especially because it's, you know, a terrible natural disaster, and you know, people have lost their homes, people are without electricity. You know, it's just sort of. I think if it was an American company, you know, and something terrible happened in America and they put it off, you know, you'd expect that, you know. But you know, that's getting onto the whole.
There were a few light murmurs, and people definitely like hit on those people saying, "Why are you saying these sort of things when there's people losing their lives and stuff over there for this?" You know, it's right for them to delay it. Absolutely. But it is frustrating when you do read things online. Oh, like, why have they delayed it? Oh, that's just stop being an idiot.
The thing is about that, like, there were definitely like some pricks doing that, but like I did see a lot of people just like actually being understanding of that. So that made me
the
quite
greater
happy.
part of the community definitely downplayed them all and said, "Look, just move away from Twitter."
Oh god, yeah, absolutely. I think you know, people you know, making jokes or comments about it. I think they were in the minority, but just generally though, people do need to calm down about Nintendo Directs, especially Smash stuff. But it's kind of like I'm just shouting at a brick wall, you know. I've come on a podcast to talk about it, so I guess I'm a bit guilty of it as well.
Let's go into it then. So what do we want to see in this Direct coming then?
I want to see Inazuma 11 Go Galaxy finally get announced for Europe. My hope has been reignited, and I will not rest until it's been confirmed. Either that or
Danganronpa.
Yes, that for Switch.
We mentioned it once. You get one mention.
You're always the one that mentions it though. That's the thing.
I know.
So now the joke has turned on your head. And now you will have to play it. You will have to play it when it comes out.
I'll tell you what. I'll play it if it's any good.
It is good.
Is it any good?
God, Jack.
You'll have to do a special. Yeah, well, let's listen. Hopefully, it will come out, and you can do a special episode all about it. There you go.
If it comes out on the Switch, I'll buy it and play it. There you go. I've said it on the podcast.
Nice.
Yeah, cool. Done.
Cool beans.
Well, let's go back to Inazuma 11 for a second, because me and Matt need to talk about that. You can talk about it as well, Jack, but me and Matt especially, we've got a thing.
You're excluded from this cool kids club, okay? God, it's just for me and Ollie.
I'll go put Spider-Man on then.
I'm getting very British here, right? Premier League's just started, just come off the back of a really exciting World Cup. You know, now's the time for a really cool football game on the Switch. You know, that isn't FIFA. Because I'm not going to lie, I've played a lot of FIFA on the Switch.
Ollie, but we've got Football Manager on the Switch already.
We do. I'm a little bit sad. It's not the real deal though. It's some kind of mobile version.
It's the touch screen rubbish one.
Yeah, but you know, it's a start, I suppose. But Inazuma 11, now is the time. Although I'm a bit. It's a weird point for the series because you've got Galaxy that's been delayed for so long. You've got the new one that's coming out. What do we think about all the wristband stuff? Is that coming to the West realistically? Or the Inazuma 11 band?
I think. Well, what I'm happy with to start with, it has been confirmed to come to the West next year. Ours, which I'm excited for. It's coming to both Europe and North America on both PS4 and Switch.
Yeah, I'm glad about that, especially because I want people to play it in America.
I wasn't expecting the US, and I wasn't expecting it to get next year early as well. Unless it will be at Tokyo Game Show. I think Level 5 have confirmed that, so I'm hoping for release date. Because Japan haven't even got a release date yet. So I'm worried it may get delayed again. The tie-in anime is more or less finished, hasn't it? It's going on to its second season, and the game hasn't even come out yet. But
can you just explain to me what the wristband thing was? I don't understand what that is.
That is a good question. So in the show, right? They have these wristbands on, and what happens is they're in the middle of playing football. And then they just all suddenly stop running and look at these wristbands for some reason, and the manager will give them an order, like because you know in the old days I guess they just shout on the sideline, you know, what are you doing, on your head, mate, or whatever. But now it's now it's all futuristic. But I'm assuming that you put it on, and when you're playing the game, stuff comes on the wristband for some kind of emotion, I guess. But
they had to tie it in.
That's quite a cool little idea for actual football.
I know, it just kind of ruins the pace a bit of the show. as Ollie said, like they're
It
all
does,
running.
yeah. If they
They
had
would
that in
just
the World
stop.
Cup, it would have been a drab affair, you know.
And it's like,
Um,
come on, you had the anime standoffs like a lot where two kids just like stand, one has the ball and they're not doing anything but just talking.
yeah, and they're screaming
But
at
like,
each other or
yeah,
shouting or talking
but
or
like
something. Yeah.
that,
They
that's
last
just
like
anime. But
700 episodes until they score a goal.
like, it ain't
Well,
Dragon
not
Ball
in the
bad,
new
but-
one. Not in the new one.
Oh.
But
They did.
No, like I think I am looking forward to Ares, because now it's on console. Well, it's the first mainline RPG on the console for the series, so they have had to redo the gameplay a bit. But from the little
it's completely different.
yeah, but from the little I saw, I think it's transitioned fairly well. Like instead of like guiding the players each, you just have pass lines. So I imagine you can still control your player character individually, and you can just select who you want to pass to. But yeah, for console, I think it's transitioned fairly well, and I want to see how that actually acts out in gameplay. But yeah, from the show though, I'm not. The show isn't doing it for me. You know, I don't know if it's nostalgia or anything for the older series. And I was
I feel that a bit. Yeah.
I was talking about this quite extensively with Ollie a fair while earlier today, but it's just like it's just not as exciting. Something about it just feels rushed, you know.
Yeah, it's very, I don't know. I think it's weird because it's quite aimed. I'm assuming the games will be like this as well, but they're quite aimed at people who are fans of the original series, who played presumably played the original DS games. And it makes me think like it's going to be an interesting one to market to a new audience, especially on two new platforms, because it's never been on PS4 before. I mean, it's never been on a Sony console before. And I think the game needs. It needs a really good demo, a really strong demo.
That's a fair point.
It needs to be one of these affairs where on the Nintendo Direct, I'm not expecting it to happen in this most recent one, but they need to just see. This is where I get a bit sad because what I really want is I want Satoru Shibata to say, "Oh yeah, and the demo's out right now." I feel like it won't be the same if he doesn't deliver it.
I think it's a bit of a weird Sorry, Matt. I think it's a bit of a weird series altogether. That it's like they've not really pushed it as much in Europe as they could have really with that. It's like because football is massive in Europe, but not so much in like America and things like that. So maybe that's why it's not quite as well known in places. I don't know.
I think so. I think it's biggest in countries like Spain and Italy and France, where they had the anime was local or translated or subtitled or whatever way before us. They're the people who are really clamoring for it. I think I don't think the first one came out in the States, didn't it? On the eShop, but I don't know how much of an audience there was for that.
Probably not much, no.
It's a growing area for football altogether. So it's an interesting one in the next couple of years whether there might be more interest in that series. But interesting.
I'm just praying that something in Inazuma comes up because they do have a Twitter account now. Like an actual official one in the same vein as the Layton series. So that gives me some hope that something is happening very soon.
Hopefully they'll give it more of a push this time anyway.
Hopefully. But... I mean, like they're already localizing it within a year, whereas compared to like the 3 years we had to endure previously.
Yeah, exactly. The fact we've even got an announcement that's coming west is a good sign,
So I do have high hopes for the game. It's only been slightly lowered because of the anime, but that's the anime. My tastes have grown a bit more since I first viewed it.
It was a long time ago now.
Exactly,
so.
yeah. Like it was one of the first actual anime I got into, other than like Digimon and Pokemon. So it may be nostalgia talking, but I just remember it being a lot cooler in the old days. Before the Keshan Armed and the Souls,
Yeah, back when we were lads, young lads.
Bread.
God's sake.
We had aliens.
Yeah. When I say back in the old days.
Yeah, they had.
You mean like 2000?
They had
like 2006 is like the old days for me.
I was born 89. So.
97. So there you go. Oh, we want some
Right.
different perspectives, so it's a bit imbalanced this episode.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's good. I like it, man.
Right. Anyway, that's enough for one Nintendo Direct prediction. Would someone else like to go next?
Um, Switch Wars.
Switch Wars.
Yeah.
Like
Advance Wars for the
Advance
Switch.
Wars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you lost me for a minute then, but I understand. You always forget that Advance Wars was called that because it was on the Game Boy Advance,
Oh,
but
really?
the DS ones
Oh, of
weren't
course.
called DS.
That
The actual
makes- that
series
makes
actually officially
sense.
Nintendo Wars. So.
Nintendo Wars, yeah, Famicom Wars, Super Famicom Wars.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice. We've
I-
got War Group in the meantime, but you know.
I think with the releases, like we were just talking about, like Civ 6 being announced, and I think the Final Fantasy is an interesting one. The fact we got basically, I know it's the mobile version of 15, but that's still quite impressive to have that on the Switch as well.
It's the mobile version, though.
Yes, but even so, that
Yeah.
is still a good thing to have a Final Fantasy game, an official main series sort of.
That's
Sort
the
of.
point.
I think after the
on
Wii
Switch.
U, any third party brand is it's a bit of a treat, really, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, big time. But Crystal Chronicles, I think, will do really well on the Switch because that was a very popular game on the GameCube and Wii, so WiiWare. I think that will do very well. If that's announced in this Direct, who knows? But we'll see.
Dreams are gonna get crushed.
Do we think
probably.
this direct's actually going to happen? Like, because they've announced a lot of stuff outside of it recently. The Pokemon stuff's just come out. It makes me think. Do you think it's actually going to happen, or are they just going to?
I don't.
I
I
feel
don't
like
know. Pokemon have their own sort of thing though. They just
Yeah,
put
true,
stuff whenever
true.
they want. But
I feel like
it's the other things.
going back to that point about the Splatoon 2 stage that I mentioned earlier on. Yeah, I don't know. I think they've hyped up too many people now. So I
They ever
don't
cancelled
think it
one
is soon.
I
Or
don't think if they've never cancelled one before, have they?
no, I don't think they've
No,
ever.
this is-
Well, they confirmed that there will be a new date in the near future.
Mm.
That was back on Thursday. So I think a week makes sense, right?
Well, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it will depend on the situation in Japan. I think.
Definitely.
So actually, one story comes to mind, and I'm not expecting it will be similar, but I can't remember what the name is in Japanese, but Raw Danger, I think it was. Those series about sort of surviving earthquakes and things like that that was on the PS2. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Gosh.
It's called. I think it's called Zetai something. I can't remember what it's called. I'm sure some people will know what I'm talking about. But that, it's a kind of Japanese series that's quite well known, and you're sort of in this sort of very realistic sort of like natural disaster scenarios trying to survive. And there was one that was in development right around the time where the big Kansai earthquake happened.
Right.
I think it was in 2011 now, and that game just got completely cancelled outright. So
Well, I know we just spoke about Advance Wars, but I know that got delayed because of the Twin Towers in
Right.
America, and all that. That was literally supposed to release that day, but because of that, they held it back for another couple of weeks. So that's the only time I know that something's been like sort of cancelled for other reasons other than like actual game delays. So it's
I think also you got to think about consumers in Japan. Like they're obviously it's a serious kind of situation where people's kind of lives are affected. But
absolutely,
if people don't have power, they can't watch an Nintendo Direct. So they're not going to want to air it when no one can see it. When people got other things in mind.
As a company, that is very true. You do want to see the most eyes on it as possible, and if they can't because of natural disasters and things like that, then obviously it's probably a good company decision not to air it then. Yeah, definitely, I agree with that. So anything else for the actual Direct itself that we really want to see? Is there anything? I'd like to see some information about Metroid if it's still floating about, but we've not heard anything for ages really, other than it's still ongoing.
I would like to see Metroid, but I'm not sure if this is the right time. I think if they
Depends when they release it.
If they open with Smash and they don't end with Smash, then I think Metroid will be the one to end it with a new trailer for that. And you'll say 2019.
If it ends with Smash, it's likely to be another character, surely. But...
Oh, yeah, like I'd bet money that we are getting a new character.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
likely. I think it'll probably open with Smash. I feel like that seems to be their thing now. I
Right.
reckon. Um, I reckon there could be something to do with Mario Kart, maybe. I feel like that might be something to end on. Not like a
Like
one
new
last thing kind
DLC.
of thing, but I mean, I've heard a few rumblings about it. I think there's
They're
enough.
still they're still
So,
putting out little bits of DLC and
Hmm.
yeah, a
things
little
for
bits
Mario
here and
Kart
there. The
and the
Labo update.
Labo.
Yeah.
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 We had the Breath of the Wild content as well.
Hmm.
Although it's just costume, but I would like something more meaty, like a new battle course pack.
Monster Hunter like track with Rathalos as a
Christ.
like card to
Yeah.
try,
Well,
try it in.
we
Yeah.
need more. What is it in? Is it Citroens or Renaults? That they've got in there.
Oh, I've got to mention this actually because it completely threw me. There's a fake Nintendo account on Twitter
Oh
that
god.
put up a picture of a looked like a Mario Kart DLC like official like
Oh,
announcement.
I saw this.
I know
But
exactly what you're talking about.
you know what
Yeah.
I'm about it? It was for the Fortnite car. And it
Oh,
That hurt
looked,
me.
it looked so genuine. I was like, wow, that actually looks really good.
It was
But
well done. It had me for a second, but I'm always looking
yeah,
for that one instead of an I in the Twitter or
but now I'm
something like
wondering,
that.
will they actually do it? Because it's
Oh,
such a great idea.
oh, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I just think there are cool Nintendo vehicles that could go in there before something from
Yeah,
Fortnite.
for a golf
So,
cart. So,
yeah.
yeah, that'd be
Um,
cool.
yeah, it would be cool. I think a lot of people are still hoping for Mario Odyssey DLC, but to be honest, I kind of a part of me doesn't want that because I want those ideas saved for a sequel.
Mm.
I
Because
think
like,
I just want. No, sorry, go on.
oh yeah, I was just gonna say like, this surely they must be working on a sequel of some kind. You know, like Galaxy got it. You know, it sold over 10 million copies. They can't like not be thinking of a sequel.
Oh, there'll be another Mario
Yeah.
Kart without a doubt. But Mario Kart 8's so polished.
Oh, I meant
I don't know where they can go with it.
I meant
If,
Super Mario
Beautiful
Odyssey.
game.
Oh, Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant Mario Odyssey DLC for Mario Kart 8. I thought that
Oh,
was
That would be
oh,
cool.
that'd be nice. Like,
that.
in,
Yeah,
like Paul
yeah,
or something. Yeah.
yeah.
No, I meant actual DLC for Mario Odyssey.
No, I see what you mean. Yeah,
Hmm.
I think they've been adding costumes kind of slowly, which
Yeah.
it's
Got
nice.
the,
That
the
they've kept that.
Brodals recently, didn't we? With
Yeah,
all the rabbit characters. Kind of thing.
and some sort of quite cool like Nintendo history stuff. Like they added the spacesuit from one of the old Satellaview commercials, which is
Oh,
just the
really?
coolest thing.
Yeah.
It's the coolest
I
thing
didn't see that
they'd
one.
acknowledge that. It's like a kind of silver space suit looking very, very 90s. It's just really nice that they've acknowledged something like the Satellaview, which they don't do very often. So
Cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Here's another prediction. We are going to see the Yoshi game, which I believe its title
Yeah.
has been leaked as Yoshi's Crafted World.
Oh, okay.
Because it was put up on the official Nintendo US site. So I think it is likely because we haven't seen it in like a year and a quarter since it was first revealed at E3 last year.
That looks like a January, February game to me.
Mm.
I
Like
don't
maybe
think it'll be out
March.
for Christmas.
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Like,
Sort of something to tie people over until
Mm.
they announce something else for spring.
talking about spring, I think we could be seeing a new Fire Emblem Three Houses trailer. Or at least
I forgot that game existed. So yeah, it has been a while.
to be honest, I don't blame
wiped
you.
it from my memory, if I'm honest. So.
Well, you don't like Fire Emblem in the first place. Yeah, I don't know. I still need more convincing. Well, of course I am gonna get it, but I want more convincing that this is gonna be.
You don't
better
need that
than
much more
this.
convincing then. So
Yeah.
no, I think it's Fire Emblem. I think you kind of you sort of know what to expect. It's just
Yeah.
things, plot and mechanics that people will want to know more about. I just really, really hope that they don't do what they did with Xenoblade 2 and give it a really slow, long explanation with a British guy doing the voiceover. I don't think I can stomach that
Nah.
again.
No, I think it won't be an explanation. I think it will just be just a trailer. I think, like showing new characters and stuff like that. Showing, oh, this is a new gameplay feature, maybe. And maybe a tighter release window, like maybe March 2019.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm hoping at least.
Um, more Monster Hunter DLC for
Could happen.
Generations, because they already announced like costumes and stuff. They had the Ace, what's he called? Objection guy. What's he? What?
Oh, Ace
Phoenix.
Attorney.
Phoenix, right.
Yeah.
A costume for him was added for one of your Palkia cat things. Him, I think there was a Devil May Cry one was added with Dante. Is it Dante? Yeah.
Dante.
There was a couple.
Devil May Cry.
There's a couple others which I can't remember the rest. So, but Capcom knows its fans really well, and just keeps giving and giving more stuff there. And the best thing about that is all the DLC for Generations is free, so I can't complain with that.
That doesn't seem like a Capcom move, given Street
I know,
Fighter
that's
5.
strange, isn't it? Yeah, it is
They
strange.
seem more generous with Monster Hunter than anything else. Although the Mega Man 11 demo just came out, which I haven't tried.
I haven't tried it
Oh,
either.
yeah. Download that. I did download the Mega Man Anniversary Collection stuff recently, and I was never any good at any of the games, so I was going to try and practice a bit and get through them, but I'm still useless now, so no good.
Oh no.
What about 3DS stuff? Because there's still a few 3DS bits
They have,
coming, aren't there?
Luigi's
Mario and
Mansion.
Luigi and Luigi's Mansion, yeah. The Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story remake. They sort of just mentioned and then didn't really touch on again.
I expect the Mario and Luigi game to get maybe a new trailer or at least a new spotlight.
Why can't they put that on the Switch though? That really annoys me, that one.
It's the engine stuff. I have to say that those I played Dream Team Bros and I thought it was a huge slog, and I kind of loved it and hated it.
Right.
And I really wanted it to be over, but it was a gorgeous game. The animation it's just really, really nice, really good. And to see more in that style is nice. I'm into that.
All the Mario and Luigi games in the whole series are really well technical made games as well. So
they've got a lot of character to them. Small details.
Something as simple as just like one button press for one character, the other button press for the other character is so clever now the way they use it.
I am surprised that they just completely skipped over Partners in Time though.
It is odd.
Yeah.
I know it's not. I hear it's not as popular, but it's a bit strange that they just completely skip it like that. If they, especially considering it looks like they're doing remakes of all of them. But now I feel like the moment's probably past. I don't know how long the 3DS has got left, but
like
it's
if they
deeper now.
if they got Partners in Time, then that mean the whole Mario and Luigi series would be on the 3DS. That's pretty nice.
I don't think there'll be anything further announced for the 3DS because their sales are now suddenly starting to dwindle.
They have. I feel like if they put in that they've got news for Nintendo 3DS in their tweet, then I think they will have one new announcement.
I wouldn't count it out. I think Nintendo will come up with something, because there was some rumors, weren't there, about a new Zelda game on the Link Between Worlds engine.
Link's Awakening remake, I believe.
See, I love Link's Awakening. I think it's fantastic, but I don't know if that's the style I'd want to see it in.
Right.
I think
it's interesting sort of style. I just thought I'd just quickly find out. WarioWare Gold. I know it's only in Japan, but it's sold 79,000 physical copies.
Right.
And that's just in Japan. So sales are sort of starting to dwindle quite a bit.
To be fair, I don't know. I feel like WarioWare is never going to be the best indicator because I don't know if that's a massive franchise anymore. But
still popular though.
It's popular. I really like it. But I don't know if it's going to be like a big seller for them. Same with the Rhythm Heaven collection that came out as well.
I think
that was really good.
Touching upon that though about the sales, I think Fire Emblem Echoes, which was the last in the 3DS games, was the least well selling. Despite it coming out arguably at the peak of Fire Emblem's popularity. Like you had the Fire Emblem Heroes game on mobile, you had Fire Emblem Warriors coming out later on in the year, you had a Switch game announced for the future. Echoes I think just didn't perform as well as Fates or Awakening. And I think mainly because it came out during the Switch's life.
Yeah, probably that time where, if you've got 50 quid to drop on a game and you've just bought a Switch, and you've
Rather
got stuff like
spend it.
Mario Odyssey coming out, you're probably
Yeah.
gonna be gravitated towards that. So,
Mm.
I'm glad. Do you know what though? I'm glad that it's had as long a life as it has, because it's a
yeah.
really brilliant console. I mean, what a library it's built up over the years.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's
I'd
probably
still,
one of
I'd
the
still,
best libraries, definitely.
yeah, I kind of, look, I think the Switch is brilliant, but if somebody wanted to get into games, I'd still recommend the 3DS to
Oh
them.
yeah.
So many bases
Espe-
covered. You got,
Especially how cheap it is now as well, to just be able to get hold
The
of a
GDS, yeah.
console and a few
Yeah,
games for it.
definitely. Great intro. A lot of series, there are games on there that are great introductions to them. Like, Fire Emblem Awakening is a great introduction to Fire Emblem. You got a solid 2D Zelda, a solid 3D Zelda. Plus you can play DS games on it, and DS is pretty special. So
The DS has got a stellar library as well.
mm.
Yeah. I don't know. I just fear that I don't want them to spend too much time on it. Because as good as those games may be, I think just the hype around 3DS has just died out. And if they do announce something generally cool, like say if they do announce Advance Wars, but it's coming to 3DS, or
I'll still buy it.
or like Mother 3, Mother 3 is finally getting localized, but it's for the 3DS.
Oh
I
mate,
think...
that'd be amazing. That'd be amazing.
Exactly.
Oh man,
Because even
That'd
though
be
it's
so
something
funny.
people want, it'll be met with a fair amount of anger because people just want to play on the Switch now.
yeah.
Master 2 coming for the Virtual Boy.
I'd be into that. Red and black, baby. That's what it's all about.
I just seen worldwide sales of 3DS 72.89 million as of June 30th. So,
that's a fine number to leave it on, really, though.
yeah, it's
It's
amazing.
done.
Really.
Do you know what? Considering how it started off, it's great that they managed to sort of turn it around. I remember because I got my 3DS right when it came out. I think at the time that was the first console I ever sort of got on release date. And it was kind of like, I was excited by it. I was playing the AR games thinking, wow, this is great. This is the future. But most people were just kind of like, they're not like me. They're not happy with just Steel Diver. They need something more.
Steel Diver. Oh, man.
Yeah, big fan of Steel Diver. And the sequel. I'd love to see a new Steel Diver in this direct. I want to be surprised. I'm always looking for that thing that I'm not expecting, and that would be great.
I love Steel Diver, just the fact it had the Star Fox sub in it. It was amazing.
That was cool. Peppy hair in there. Yeah.
Actually, do you think we'll be getting Star Fox Grand Prix? That rumored Star Fox game. Do you think we'll be seeing
Oh,
that sounds.
I'd love to see it, but I don't think it's going to happen somehow.
Okay.
I mean, the Star Fox characters are showing up in that Ubisoft game, Starlink, the kind of Toys to Life game. So that might get get touched on.
I think
possibly.
they'll get touched on, and I think that'll be the same with the Celebrate Chronicles 2 DLC.
Having physically played that game with the R-Wing attached to the controller, I can say it's fantastic. So, but it's very fiddly, like having to move weapons onto the actual physical ship itself, and then move characters into it as well. It's very strange, but yeah, it's that sort of is the reason why it sort of turned off any other Star Fox games appearing, is because of that release, basically. So.
Yeah,
you never know.
Off, yeah, but again, you never know. I feel like if there's going to be any surprises, I don't think they're going to be massive. I don't know if it's the time for it. I think they've got stuff coming out. They don't want to take the spotlight off Pokemon and Smash Bros. Not that that's going to be an easy thing to do, but
the thought of 8-player flying or dogfights would be pretty cool. The Switch kind of thing. So
I don't know, when I hear Star Fox Grand Prix, I don't know, the music from Sonic R starts to play in my head. So not that that's a bad thing. I like a bit of Eurobeat, never hurt anyone, but
wow.
Alright. To be honest, I think as big as a Smash fan I would be just content with just finding out what the new Smash info is, really, to be honest. If it's not a new fighter, I really want to see what the big green mode that was teased back last month is. Because everyone's thinking Spirits, but I just want to see what it is.
Maybe we should go into our next section and talk about it, maybe.
maybe we should, or do we have what have we been playing, or are we gonna
Oh,
talk
God,
about
we
that?
haven't we?
Let's see. So with that, let's move on to our next section. So this is the what have we been playing section. Ollie, as I guessed, would you like to talk about what you've been playing?
Thank you. Yeah. I got a kind of a weird one. I see. I have. Haven't. I'm going to start again. Yeah, I've got a bit of a weird one this time because I've been very busy with uni. I haven't had a lot of time to sink into a big sort of meaty game. So I've actually been playing Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels, the Super Mario All Stars version. I've been playing it with a mate who sort of we both go to different unis, so we see each other every couple of months, and we always meet up and we always play a Mario game, and we sort of pass the controller back and forth. We'll get to some level which will die on loads, and we'll sort of fight together to beat it. And we've been playing the Lost Levels, and what a nasty game! What a horrible game! Whoever designed the levels, I don't know what someone did to them to make them design those levels, but it wasn't very nice. Yeah,
Wasn't very nice.
Wasn't very nice. So we're actually on 8-4. So I'm going to meet him this week, and hopefully we're going to finish it. But I found out recently that there's another 5 worlds after the 8th world, and you have to get to that point with no warps and no continues to play them. So basically, I'm kind of just going to cross that one off the bucket list and pretend I'm done with it, But yeah, it's a very weird game. It's a very sort of spiky game. It doesn't really feel like a Mario game. It's sort of designed to take everything you know about Mario and sort of screw with it. I don't know what I think of that. I don't think it's a great approach.
This is the one that was never released originally in Europe and USA, was it? Because
that's right.
They thought it was too difficult to market to the audience, kind of thing. Was the original reason why it was cancelled.
I think they were worried it would destroy the Mario brand, and to be honest, I kind of can see where they were coming from. I really like Super Mario Bros. 2. The Doki Doki Panic, and I feel like that was a good substitute. But this is they market this version as being for super players, and I think that's definitely true. You gotta know what you're doing. So
the best way to sort of describe it is it's the master version of like Super Mario Bros. Basically.
Definitely. It feels like a level pack more than anything else. Because the game plays almost identically, but I don't know. It's a stressful game to play, but I think when I've beaten Bowser at the end, I'll be able to breathe a sigh of relief and say, oh yeah, I've beaten the Lost Levels.
Cool.
Jack, would you like to go next?
Ollie? Did you have another one there, or?
I can talk about it if we've got time.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right. Well, yeah. So Simon Belmont was announced for Smash Bros. A couple of weeks ago, and I thought that was pretty exciting. And I realised that I'd never actually played a Castlevania game the whole way through. So I decided to play Super Castlevania 4 on the SNES. Which is another game that stressed me out because it is very difficult, and it made me realise that I'm not very good at games. I spent a lot of time getting knocked into pits and starting from the beginning.
This is on the SNES Mini, isn't it?
Is that right?
Yeah, I've just looked at it. I've got it here. So yeah, it is on the SNES Mini as well. So if you've not played it, give it a go.
Yeah, no, it's good. Really technically impressive. It uses that Mode 7 nicely. It's got some really interesting effects. I quite liked how there wasn't a lot of story in it. It sort of just drops you in, and you kind of go through the game. But it's quite, it gives it this sort of like isolated sort of feel, like you're going to kill Dracula. You don't really know why, but you're going to do it. Something about that kind of sat with me well. It was like it was just the focus was entirely on the game, rather than anything else, rather than any sort of embellishment. But I somehow managed to get to the end and finish it. And I'm glad that I can say I've finished the Castlevania game. And I think you probably find a lot of people have sort of got back into it now that Smash announcements come around. I also after finishing that, I started playing Symphony of the Night on the PS1, but I can't talk about that here because it's the wrong podcast. So
That's PlayStation
you can
podcast
talk
system.
about it if you want. If you've been playing it, it's allowed.
Well, I won't go into too much detail, but I'm finding it's a lot better than the one on the SNES. So yeah, that's a bit sacrilegious to say that here, though. I think so, but no, it's critically acclaimed for a reason anyway. So
I didn't realise there were so many Castlevania games though until I sort of after Smash I did some bit of research on it because it goes on to different consoles and things like that. I didn't realise that there's something like 15 different games now for different consoles, maybe more than that. So.
I think it used to be, a pretty prominent series. I mean, Richter, is it pronounced Richter, who was announced as an Echo Fighter? Richter Belmont. Yeah, he, the one he's from, I think, is it Rondo of Blood?
Rondo
I think
of Blood.
No idea. That was on the Saturn, and I think that was a Japanese exclusive. So, but he's also got this sort of cult. I feel like it's quite a cult series.
I think the first couple definitely from the NES sort of era, they deserve their place in Smash. Absolutely, I think because it's just like you said, it's that cult following around the game, and there's so many people that played them through the SNES era and through the NES era and so on. But it's like it sort of did drift off from like the 64 version wasn't so good going into 3D, and I think lots of people sort of struggled from that point on with Castlevania. But
yeah, I mean,
there was Go on, Ollie.
I was going to say, I hear the ones on the DS and the GBA which sort of stuck to that sort of 2D. I hate to use the word, but that Metroidvania sort of format. I'm not a big fan of that expression, but I've used it now, so there you go.
It's a good way to describe it, though, isn't it? Because you know what you're getting with that sort of game.
Well, I suppose they're the series that have sort of defined that style of, I guess, sort of action game.
Right.
But it's I think it's a good third-party pick for Smash because it's sort of got that place in people's sort of. I don't know. It's like it's not like I don't know if you'd say it's a hugely historically important series, but a lot of people remember.
I disagree. I think especially the older titles, they do have that sort of that draw to what the NES was and the SNES was afterwards. I think whenever you think of the NES, the first sort of game that comes out to your mind is either Super Mario Bros. Or like Contra and things like that, and Castlevania is always one of the ones that's sort of mentioned in those sort of limelights kind of thing. But it deserves its place, absolutely.
No, definitely. I think people cherish it enough, and it's got enough of a link to Nintendo for me anyway. That's what I'm always looking for with Smash Bros. Because I consider it great,
More than Snake, really. I know Snake's had like 2 games on the NES, and
I'd agree. Well, yeah, I guess Smash is a celebration of Nintendo, but it's also a celebration of video games, and Cloud, I think, is pretty important to that. I don't know about Snake, but I'm happy he's back. Oh yeah, I'm happy he's back.
A lot of people.
Oh, and Grey Fox as well.
Grey Fox as well, yeah, I like all that. I've heard I read a news story today where David Hayter, the voice of Snake, he said that they haven't recorded any codec calls for Smash Ultimate. Obviously, maybe he's under NDA or something. We won't know, but that'll be a little bit.
Be NDA, but
yeah, it'd be a little bit disheartening if they're not in there. But there are so many characters that I could see why there wouldn't be.
If they keep the old ones in, I think that'd be fine. But the new characters just don't get anything would be a bit frustrating. But never mind. That's cool.
Yeah. So that. Jack, would you like to go next?
Yeah, I can keep it sort of short and sweet, really. That's all right, man. Basically, just been playing Monster Hunter Generations. It's the only game I've played on the Switch, mainly last couple of weeks. Well, this last week or so. Mainly because, ever since getting that, I've just been playing a bit of the multiplayer for people online and stuff like that. Been trying to get through some of the solo missions because I got so far on it on the 3DS and played lots of stuff, but didn't quite understand like the key quests to unlock the HR level ups kind of thing. So I've gone back to look through them, found them all on the internet because you can't find them anywhere else in the game. It's really annoying. But yeah, you got to basically do certain key quests in there to be able to unlock each level, and I've now gone up to HR4, so I'm slowly going up in levels, but I'm still got miles of things to catch up on. But I've been playing a lot of online with the likes of Nintendo Village teams and some of the other groups and people from Street Pass groups. So it's been quite fun to sort of get back into that game and start hunting again, different monsters and things like that. So yeah, it's quite enjoyable. Unfortunately, I've not been playing much else, mainly because I bought myself a PS4 this week. So a nice red one with a Spider-Man on it. So yeah,
Ooh.
I've been cheating on
Yeah, I saw
Nintendo.
that.
Sorry.
Yeah, how
But I
dare you
mainly,
cheat?
I know, it's
Says someone
terrible.
that also has a PS4.
Yeah. But I was just like the nostalgia of like Spider-Man 2 on the PS2 was enough to sort of make me buy this game, and
Right.
I've not been disappointed yet. It's been really, really good. It's like if you've played the Batman Arkham games, it's basically them with Spider-Man or Assassin's Creed with Spider-Man. Very similar in sort of the way it's laid out and stuff, and lots of collecting stuff. So I kind of bit Banjo-Kazooie, I guess, as well. So it's sort of a mixture of lots of games all in one, and I kind of like it for all that. But the whole moving with your webs and stuff is just so smooth for how quickly you move through the city and stuff, jumping through little holes and stuff like that. But it's cool, yeah. But other than that, Nintendo wise, I've not really played a lot. There's not a lot I'm really looking at to buy within the next month or so because I'm quite skint because of other reasons. Um, Mainly like Game Fest. I've actually had a bit of a clear out on the weekend, and I found my Wii U is now. I've had to remove it from my desk, so that's now all unplugged.
Oh,
So
Oh,
so rip Wii U. I was only playing like Mario Maker on it now anyway, so it's just like redundant basically because all the other games are on Switch. Um, but yeah, I thought I'd just put that out there and say, like, the Wii U gets a lot of stick, yeah, and I still think it's a great
oh
console.
yeah.
oh, definitely. I think people are coming around to it now. I think people are
Yeah,
starting to realise,
it's just
um,
far too late in the day, though, isn't it? That's the problem that people come around to it.
yeah,
But what I did have a good search for because I thought, well, if I take my Wii to Game Fest, maybe I can sort out like a random Smash Bros tournament on it. So thinking that, I found four GameCube controllers. I found two PS2 controllers. Well, I don't even have a PS2. I found my Wii remote, which I've been searching for about 2 years, which I found in a random box in the middle of nowhere. Um, but yeah, so I've just got all these consoles and like controllers just coming out of nowhere now. I don't know where they've come from. It's really strange. But I did try to find Wii Sports, which I don't know where that is. I found a random case that says Wii Sports written in it in pen because I've obviously lost the case somewhere. And I opened it up to find not Wii Sports but Smash Bros. Brawl. I think it's the Wii U one. No, Wii
Yeah.
one. Sorry,
yeah.
that's right. And also two GameCube games in there, which was very strange. Two Star Wars ones.
Right.
Rogue Leader and Jedi Outcast. So I'm like, well, I know what I'm doing this evening then. So I might come back to you on next podcast of what I've been playing with. Been playing them most of the time probably. So
Mm.
just to let you know. But I'm all done. There's nothing else I've really been playing other than them. So I'll pass on to Matthew. What have you been playing?
Um, I've been playing Pokken Tournament Deluxe, DX, or what have you.
Yay!
I was a big fan of Pokken back on the Wii U. To be honest, I think it's probably like one of my favorite spin-offs of Pokemon, if not my favorite.
Hmm.
I just think the way it works, overall, how everything flows, just feels really nice. It feels
I
really
mean, I
polished.
mean, you did forget about Pokemon Snap, but just saying.
I haven't played Pokemon Snap, and the only reason I've covered it
Ah,
is because of
God
Oh.
damn
nostalgia.
it.
Alright. Um, um, yeah, so if you don't know, it's basically a Pokemon fighting game. It's crossed with Tekken, that's why it's called Pokken. And you fight around in two stages. One is like a field phase, where it's like more of a 3D fighter, then the other is dual phase, which is more traditional um,
Yeah.
2D affair. Um, yeah, I must have talked about it when this first came out, but I think it's fair to say what Pokken is was like But I am enjoying Deluxe. You know, it does feel really nice playing it in handheld. It looks really nice as well.
Was it you on Twitter that I saw you started
Yeah,
playing online with
this
this?
is. I don't know. I don't know if this is the same thing as Wii U, and this is probably just because I'm really unlucky. But I decided to just test online really quick, see if that was online. I mean, if that was okay. I go in my first match where I was at E5,
So
which is
you've
the
never
lowest
played
rank.
online,
Yeah.
not played online with it before.
No,
So
this
this
is
is
like my
literally you
literally
just
my first match ever on Pokken Tournament Deluxe. I was matched with an S. I was matched with an S rank player, and like to be
right.
fair, I almost held my own. But I did get thwarted in the end. But it's
Didn't he have
frustrating
like a
though.
40 win streak or something like that? Is
I
that,
don't
am I
know. Yeah,
remembering right?
maybe I
Something
don't
like
know. I just saw that he was an
that.
S rank player with Shadow Mewtwo, who I remember being like really OP in the Wii U version. I was like, Christ.
Mm.
Thankfully, it has been better. But the other thing as well, my third match was with a person with the DLC because they were playing Aegislash, which was a part of the DLC battle pack,
Yeah.
which I felt quite annoyed with really because I, I feel like it would be quite a lot of extra effort, but I just don't find it fair when you're matched with people that also have the DLC that don't even have a chance to know what that character's about, you know.
Mm.
So I went
I
into the
think
match not knowing pretty much anything about Aegislash, like how he plays, and I just got dominated completely. It's tough.
Yeah, I
That's
think
just fighting
that's just
games.
fighting games,
I
isn't it?
know, but
Yeah,
like
it's
you shouldn't be
everything
paired with
Street
like
Fighter, Smash
yeah,
Bros. They're all like that now,
but
you know.
it's not like you could pay for each DLC pack separately. Like you have to buy them all together.
Mm.
So I feel like you have the DLC. If you bought some DLC, you've bought all the DLC. So I feel like you should either be paired with those players if you do, but if you don't, you should be paired with the players that don't. That's what I think.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
get what you're saying, but I think
it's a minor thing.
it's yeah.
Yeah.
I
If you'd
think
won,
getting
would you be saying this?
That's a fair point. But see, like I wouldn't
No,
know. That's the thing. I wouldn't know if I'm being paired up with a person that doesn't have the DLC.
I think the problem you got
Yeah.
though, Matt, is Pokken's been out a while now, hasn't it? So I don't know
It's
if it's just because there's not many people online, so you're getting ranked with whoever's available.
I
Kind
don't
of
I
thing.
don't
Yeah,
I
think
don't-
usually,
so because like I do find matches fairly quickly. Like they have a 10-second timer, right? If you don't find it within that time, you just send it to practice match.
Right. Okay.
And like so far, like most haven't taken up all 10 seconds.
Oh, okay.
But
But
yeah,
still fairly regularly get games.
so far
then,
that's
so-
been a mild inconvenience. But everything else I love. One thing that I do like is that they've added daily challenges.
Okay.
So it's just it's nothing too rewarding. Like you get skill points, which is for Pokemon, which are used to power them up in some ways, like power, defense, stuff like that. But it's just a nice way to like get you coming back each day. You know, trying out a new combination of a battle Pokemon and support Pokemon. You know,
Hmm.
just a nice addition all around. And the new
It's not really
Pokemon,
one
yeah.
I've played much of, if I'm honest, Pokken. I don't know. Ollie, have you
No, me
played
neither.
Pokken?
I
Not
would
really.
recommend it, especially
I think
if. Oh, go on.
no, I was just going to say I was turned off completely because why isn't Heihachi Mishima from Tekken in it? Why isn't he in it? I honestly, right? I just when I saw that they were making Bandai Namco were making a Pokemon fighting game, especially with a name
Yeah.
like Pokken, like it's clearly supposed to be inspired by Tekken.
Yeah.
I
I
think
think I
they
went
even have that
in.
on the game card. I think it actually says Pokemon Tekken in like
I
some
think
regions.
I
I'm
heard
not
that in
sure.
in Germany they
Yeah.
had to call it Pokemon Tekken because Pokken it means chicken pox in
Oh.
German. That was I think
That's
why
great.
they had to change it. Yeah, but
Chicken Box Deluxe.
Chicken box tournament. Love it.
Chicken pox tournament. Yeah, don't. Yeah, I was going to say because if you googled Pokemon when it first came out, some of the stuff that came up was pretty grim. But yeah, I'm just really disappointed. Like I feel like Heihachi Mishima is the type of guy who would beat up Pokemon. I feel like that's sort of like that's not outside of his sort of
Wow.
like reach. You know, like I was actually because I read somewhere
He has-
that they
he has
considered
beaten up
having
animals
trainers
before.
fight. You know. Say that
I
again,
think I've had
sorry.
this before, including the
Yeah,
panda
exactly. The panda,
and
the
the
bear, kangaroo,
dinosaur.
the lizard guy. Yeah, he would definitely punch Mewtwo in the face.
Probably.
It seems to me like a real wasted opportunity.
Oh,
Fair.
big
But I
time.
don't know.
DLC confirmed.
Maybe. I've got a question.
Actually, is coming to Smash Ultimate now.
Hopefully he's got like some Pikachu ears or something, just so like they're pretending to be a Pokemon or something. That'd be
Pikachu
amazing.
he does have a few Tekken moves. I think he has a few of Jin Kazama's moves, and his wing pose or something like that, where he does a sort of cross arms thing, which is a nice little touch. But there are some things like stages in that game that are more or less like straight out of Tekken Tag Tournament 2, but with a sort of Pokemon reskin, which is quite nice. I quite like that. My question for you though, the Magikarp stage, is the one I was thinking of. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, with the banging soundtrack. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is a nice tune. Yeah, Namco Bandai, they're good with music. That seems to be they're quite, especially in their fighting games. I got a question for you, Matt. Though with the DLC, if you haven't bought the DLC, are the DLC characters on the character select screen but locked?
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate it. It's my least favorite thing in the world. Oh, when fighting games do that, it winds me up so much. It's like taunting you. It's like, this is here, but you can't have it. It's in the data. It's in the game's data, but it's not.
I think like any fighting game locking characters away is just horrible anyway, in my opinion.
I mean, like, it's one thing to like. I mean, like, it wasn't like day one DLC, Like they launched the game and then they got to work on DLC, which is fine, but it is just the fact that like it is just on the lock on the character screen, just there. There's a bit rough. Yeah.
Glad Smash did that.
Yeah, it's not like Smash where they just like add it.
It just frustrates me like the fact they do it though. Couldn't they just? I know you got to try and make their money back from it, and DLC is probably one of the better options. But can't they use things like different character models and different like costumes and stuff to make that their paid DLC and just give everyone the characters they want, kind of thing? I don't understand why they do it.
But it's like, I don't know, like that would be nice, but it's like the costumes and stuff should be free DLC because they don't take as much effort. It's like a nice gesture, whereas like I feel actual characters do take quite a lot. But the thing is, with this DLC, you're paying things like £12 for just 2 characters, and then 2 support sets, and then just a bunch of customization.
It's difficult.
Yeah,
how do you value a fighting game?
Yeah, exactly.
Character?
That's the thing.
How much work's gone into them. I guess
It was the same thing with Smash as well. Like I think it was like about £3 or £4 per character. Right?
Yeah, see, I feel like they could have asked for more, really. But I tell you, recently I bought the season pass for Dragon Ball Fighters, which is coming to the Switch soon. So I'm going to use that as justification to talk about it.
Okay, cool.
I bought the season pass, and the season pass, I think I paid it was about £25. But there was a point where they were selling it for 30. I think it was on offer. And I kind of thought to myself, when I was a kid, I'd go into the shop and buy a DS game for £30, and I'm now paying that for like 5 characters. I was kind of thinking, what am I,
It's a bit of a rip-off in my opinion.
Yeah, but I'm a sucker for Dragon Ball, so there you go. I didn't think I'd do that, but
you're gonna pay anyway.
Yeah, that is a good game. That'll be good on Switch. So
and
that was the news that came out recently that was actually being developed for Switch first. So which is an odd one, but they ended up pushing it back, I guess, probably because of money. So
probably.
Because they know people will double dip if they release it later on the Switch. So
yeah, that'd be why. Cool. So is that everything that matters? Is there any other games you've been playing?
That's been it. I have gotten to the end of Kingdom Hearts, but the final boss is some bullshit, like every other boss.
Oh
in the game.
Yeah, you said you were playing this.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
The bosses in this game are not good. I know it's an old game, but Christ, like, I don't know.
They can't be as bad as the plot, right?
Did you do the Little Mermaid one? Did we talk about this last time?
Yeah,
didn't
we were on about this. I was on the last time we talked about this. I was on the Little Mermaid world, and I just being Ursula in a big form.
Yeah.
It's fucking horrible because swimming around in that world is not fun.
No, it's not. I agree
so
there.
Like, water
levels,
I'm not going to talk.
Levels. We hate
I'm not
them.
going to talk about the final boss. I'll talk about it next time when I beat it and have like a fair
Okay.
opinion. But yeah, Christ, I don't know. It's not impacted my enjoyment of the game too much, but it's definitely
Yeah,
been
what's your overall thoughts on playing Kingdom Hearts the first time? I'm just curious.
Kingdom Hearts 1 is okay, but its age has shown, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, like it's not terrible, but it's certainly, you know, nothing grandiose. Like in comparison to Kingdom Hearts 3, which looks absolutely gorgeous, but that's
Yeah.
because that's the
Have
standard
you
for
played
the time.
2 yet? Have you played anything?
No, I don't
Okay.
want to move on to anything else before I beat 3. I mean, I beat 1. You know, so I am
Yeah,
planning on
it
beating the
makes
final
sense.
boss and then
Yeah.
moving on to Chain of Memories, like doing everything in the order they were released.
Oof,
That's what I
oof,
plan on doing.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Have you
So
played the
that's
Game Boy
been it.
Advance version of that ever?
No, I've never owned
No.
a Game Boy Advance. I'm sorry.
Oh man.
Right. So that's pretty much it for the what I've been playing section. So let's move on to the next section. So this is our big topic of this episode, all about Super Smash Bros. This is gonna be where I feel most do talk about the fighters, and for good reason. Ollie has presented an idea that's quite unique. So Ollie, since this was your idea to start with, I feel it's only right if you explain what we'll be discussing.
Well, basically, I really love all the weird crap in Smash Bros. Like this. Well, not all the stuff that doesn't need to be in there, but I just love how it's this really rich, detailed celebration in Nintendo that sort of goes through the history and focuses on all the weird things, the bits that no one's thinking about. I love things like trophies and things like stickers. Features in Brawl like the Chronicle that just sort of like, a big list of every kind of Nintendo published game up to that point. Like that didn't need to be in the game, but they put it in there just to sort of make this celebration of Nintendo. And for me, that's always been what Smash Bros is about.
Right.
Having those music tracks that you love from the games you love. Those little references, the way the stages work. And obviously that extends to the characters, but I think the characters get a lot of attention. Especially on the competitive scene and things like that, where they're the real focus all the time, and things like stages are just sort of a commodity. So many stages don't get used in Smash Bros tournaments and things like that. So I kind of want to talk a little bit about what we'd like to see in Smash Bros aside from fighters. So if you've got any ideas, and also I'd like to talk about series that are underrepresented in Smash Bros. So games that aren't big enough to have a fighter represent them, but could be featured in some other way. And also series that are already in Smash Bros, but maybe don't have enough representation in things like music or trophies, that could be celebrated in greater detail, but maybe again aren't big enough for two characters, that kind of thing. So I'm quite eager to sort of talk about that aspect of Smash because I think it's really worth paying attention to.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, I feel like that kind of stuff really makes the
subject.
soul of it, though.
Definitely, yeah.
I think when Sakurai is creating this, after all, he wanted it to be more casual experience and a celebration rather than a competitive game.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's obviously it still functions as a competitive game, as you can see. It's been at EVA for years now, and people are still playing Melee because of the mechanics in it. I'm not going to lie, I play on timed because I want everyone to be able to play until the end. I'll play on any stage. I kind of like the really chaotic stages like 75 meters or Mario Bros. Because all right, sure, maybe they're not the most fun. Maybe I won't go straight for them, but they represent something in Nintendo's history. For me,
definitely.
Having a stage in there like Hannonbow from Electroplankton on the DS, that really excites me. I want to see more stuff like that in Smash Bros. And that's kind of my one of my concerns almost about the series going forward, is that we've got this great roster now, of all these characters. We're starting to bring in third-party characters as well. And I look at that roster and I kind of think to myself, who can we add to this now? And I want to see series, including Smash now, that people aren't thinking about, if you look at characters like Pit from Kid Icarus, for example, everyone has sort of, for the most part, kind of forgotten Kid Icarus. I mean, people knew about it. There was a lot of rumors about there being a sequel or whatever, but it wasn't until Pit was in Smash and Kid Icarus came into Smash, the music, the trophies, etc., that it sort of had that shot at a revival.
Yeah.
And I'd really love to see a franchise kind of come into the fold like that.
Yeah, I do like the way that the NES characters are sort of represented in Smash. The fact that you've got like the Duck Hunt dog and things like that, and Ice Climbers. I think the fact they've put them into Smash in the first place just represents the fact they've still got these like excellent titles in their back catalogue, which they can just bring any character from and just chuck them into this massive random fighting game.
Yeah, exactly. There's space for it. They all, characters like that deserve to be there.
Mr. Game and Watch as well.
Mr. Game and Watch, one of my mates. But by extension, you get the stages and the music. Like the fact that there was a stage in Wii U and in Smash Ultimate as well, based on a game like Wrecking Crew.
Oh yes.
I just thought that was brilliant to see that game, that kind of weird sort of very Mario game sort of getting represented and the things that came with that, the music, you get the arrangement done by a sort of like pro games industry composer. We're getting music from games like Clue Land that are sort of revisited.
Clue Land, yeah, that'd be crazy if you had something like that in there.
Yeah, but like at the moment, like a series like that's probably, it's not probably big enough to sort of be put on the pedestal and have I don't think Bubbles from Clue Land is going to be.
How about a pinball stage from the NES?
Exactly. It's a game like that. Those games are part of Nintendo's history. A game that I'd really like to see represented in some way. I don't think will probably happen. And I've seen a bit of a campaign for this on Twitter recently. Is Popeye. Because one of the earliest Nintendo games, Popeye, and obviously Donkey Kong started life as a Popeye game with Donkey Kong being a Brutus or Bluto or whatever he's called, and Mario being Popeye.
Because they did make a Popeye game, didn't they? For the Nintendo?
They did, yeah.
They can't re-release it because they don't have the copyright for it. So
yeah. No, exactly.
It's a strange conversation of a game. So.
I quite like it. I think it's quite fun. It's very, simple sort of like, it's very like Donkey Kong style arcade game. It's all takes place on one sort of field, if you will, like Mario Bros, like the original Mario Bros. But something like that would be suited to, like, that's the kind of series where, like, look, realistically, like Popeye's probably not going to get in there as a fighter, but if you could somehow get that in there as a stage.
What about a Disney representation? Because lots of Nintendo's early games and cards and stuff they got famous from using Disney characters in their
That's true, yeah. They did a Disney kind of instant rice and things like that.
I'm just wondering if there was some representation there from a Disney character of some kind to be in, maybe just like a quick Mickey Mouse sort of cameo or something. I don't know.
Even a trophy or something. This is it. Like, because Nintendo's got such a rich history. I mean, they're over 100 years old and they've done so much stuff. One thing I always loved in Animal Crossing was that you could get little models of all the things they made before they made video games. So
the Ultra Hand and stuff like that.
The Ultra Hand, the Ultra Machine, the baseball sort of throwing thing.
There's one I didn't realise recently, actually. Mario Maker. You get the different like sounds and things in there, and it changes like the backgrounds and things. There's a bird one in there, which is like literally the back of one of their card models, which they originally had in like about 50 years ago on their original. Yeah,
that's very cool.
They brought it into Mario Maker, but it's also featured in WarioWare in some of the mini games. It sort of appears as well, and it's just so weird how they sort of use their back catalogue of stuff and put it into the latest games and come back to it all the time.
Yeah, I think even the Labo has some sort of references, because Nintendo's original sort of mascot was Napoleon, who he was on all of their playing cards. And I think in one of the Labo sets, that image of Napoleon they use shows up. Yeah.
You saying Labo though? Well, I reckon they could make that into an item in Smash.
See, I think something like that would be really interesting. Something really odd,
having to find parts on the stage to build the thing, like when you get like the free items to make that giant gun as a one
Daybreak,
yeah. That's it. Maybe they could use that sort of thing to get cardboard on the stage and put it all together to make.
Yeah.
Maybe
Maybe
I'm just.
the
I'm
Labo
just
House.
spitballing.
The Labo
But
House would be, an interesting stage. It's kind of weird, isn't it?
isn't there a little character in that they could use as well as a sort of?
I think so. I've never actually tried it. I've never tried it, but I've only seen footage in the trailers and things like that. But
When I did play the Smash demo, we did get one of the assist trophies, which was the Nintendo. Most annoying assist trophy there is. It just covers the whole screen. You literally cannot see anything. It's ridiculous. So I'd quite, as much as I love dogs, I would quite happily remove him.
I see what you mean. There's that Nintendo stage that was in the 3DS one that they've sort of brought back as well. But
that's quite good though.
I think that's great. I remember when the Wii Fit trainer was announced for Smash 4, and people kicked off. People were like, "What? Why is the Wii Fit trainer in Smash Bros. A weird character choice?" But if you think about it, Wii Fit was massive. It's a huge part of Nintendo's sort of legacy. That era, that Touch Generations era of Nintendo. So, when I see the Wii Fit trainer in there, or Dr. Kawashima or something like that, or the PictoChat stage, I think that's great. It's really good that they're recognizing that,
Where's our Virtual Boy stage?
See, that'd be interesting. I was actually playing a bit of Virtual Boy Warrior Land recently,
The Warrior Land game's really good.
Yeah, that's probably a cool looking game.
It's probably one of the only really good games on the Virtual Boy, but it is a very good game. It's just a pity that it's all in the horrible red colours and stuff. You can't
it's
really.
It's kind of almost a shame that it came out on the Virtual Boy, but then part of that makes it more interesting for me,
Which goes more into the argument from the previous episode about using ROMs and things, because the ROMs work really well for that game. But it's one of those. But yeah, in terms of other things in there, like in costumes and palette swaps for characters we already have in the game, I just can't really think of anything that comes to mind other than maybe like Shadow for Sonic kind of Echo character is the only one that really makes sense in the theory. But
I feel like with swaps like Alf for Olimar, I think they've all been like. I feel like we won't really be getting them anymore because of Echo characters.
Alf's a good shout, actually, though, because we haven't actually seen anything of him yet, have we?
I think
he showed up in
a screenshot or two.
Oh, did he?
He's in. He's at the end of. They did those little individual sort of character trailers. He's definitely in Olimar's one.
Okay, cool.
Alf confuses me because he really shows to me like the definition of an Echo fighter doesn't seem very clear, because you've got a character like Crom who has takes bits from different characters, but he is his own thing. He's got an original moveset. Nobody has that same moveset that he has, with the ether and the side B. Is it Dolphin Slash or something like that?
Yeah, I think so.
Or Dancing Blade.
No,
that's
it. That's the one.
But he's considered an Echo fighter.
But then, like Fox, Falco, Wolf are all separate characters. None of them are Echo.
Yeah, they're all separate. So Falco isn't considered an Echo fighter. Dr. Mario isn't considered an Echo fighter because he's got his own moveset. But Daisy presumably is a complete carbon copy of Peach. Bar things like Taunt. So why is Alf a costume? Why hasn't he got his own slot on the select screen? Why is he any different? It's a weird one because without like getting into all the sort of lore of it, like fan fiction-y stuff, like Alf is his own. He's his own person. He's his own character. He's in his own game. So just give him his own slot. Even if he's a complete carbon clone of Olimar, it seems weird to me that he's a costume,
right?
But the others aren't. How are you guys going to display them? Are you going to have them in sharing a slot, or are you going to have them separate? Because they've given us the choice.
I'm going to do it separate. I think.
Yeah, same.
I like it more full out.
I'll see once I get the game. I can't. It doesn't really bother me either way, if I'm honest.
It's a very, very minor thing, but I know I'll be thinking about it on launch day. I always when Smash Wii U came out, the first thing I did was go straight into My Music and start tweaking it all. So I think I'll be doing the same
I'll definitely
again.
be doing that. Yeah.
Actually,
Sonic Adventure 2 Battle will be in every Sonic stage there is. So.
Talking about the My Music, what do you? I think me and Nintendox were talking about this on the episode after Direct. How do you feel about the My Music now incorporating music from every. No, I'm not explaining this well. Like, if as long as it's appeared once in the series, it appears. No, for fuck's sake. I
So
don't know.
yeah, I know what you mean. Like, so
Yeah.
so all the tracks for one series are on all of the stages from that series.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
it. Sorry.
yeah.
I-
No, I think that's pretty smart. You know,
Right.
give you the choice. I do. One thing I was thinking about though is that where do the sort of like general like no specific series tracks come into it?
See, that's what we were talking about, because the A Wonderful 101 track was on the Mario Galaxy stage, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that will still be there on the Mario Galaxy stage, but it won't be shared on other Mario stages, unlike other Mario games.
It does ask the question, where do the various ones
Yeah.
go? That is
So
Yeah,
to bring up.
exactly.
So Josh was thinking that all the other stages just go onto all of the other stages. So like Hannonbro, right?
Yeah.
That's not really tied to any fighter, so that music will just be from the other series.
Yeah, see, that was a weird one though, because that was the one stage that it didn't have any music, you couldn't change it because it was all sound effects. Because when you were fighting on the stage,
really?
you know, it was basically functioned exactly the same as Electroplankton exactly the same as the Hannonbau
Right.
game in Electroplankton. So you angled those leaves, and the sort of fish things would bounce off them, and it would make a different sound. Because I always remember that wasn't on the select screen in Brawl when he went on My Music. But no, I see what you mean, because you know you got music in Smash Bros from, like, I remember there was a track in Brawl from there's a game on the DS called Shaberu DS Cooking Navi, which is like it's like a cooking guide more or less.
Right.
There's a really great arrangement of the title theme by, I think it was done by Toshiyuki Sudo as the composer who did it. I don't know why I know that, but I do. So he did this really, really cool arrangement of it. And that actually got cut in Smash Wii U. I'm hoping that'll come back. But you know, yeah, like a track like that, where does it fit in? Maybe those will be tied to a specific stage, because obviously the mood of the track will sort of have some bearing on where they go, you know.
Yeah, so speaking of music, does anyone have any particular tracks that they're just dying to hear in Smash? Either like original or just completely new remixes?
I don't know. It's a bit of a difficult one to answer, isn't it? Really, without like going through every single series of Nintendo.
Yeah, I could do a whole podcast just on that one question.
Yeah,
maybe about 5 podcasts. I don't know. I tell you what, I do. There's a few obvious ones that I think should be in there. Why isn't there an arrangement of the Super Mario Bros. 2 Overworld theme? That seems really like.
Oh, that's a fair point.
You know, that seems like a pretty simple one.
We have gotten some new remixes from Mario Bros. 3. Like, we recently got that Fortress Plus one, which is a straight banger.
Yeah, that is good. Yeah, done by
It is.
It's done by one of the Metal Gear Solid composers with really good strings. What are we thinking of the selection so far that they've put on the website?
I'm loving it. You know, like, granted, this is from Fire Emblem, but it's just crazy to think that we're getting a track from Fire Emblem Heroes, a mobile game of all things.
Yeah.
You know, that was cool. They
no, it is, yeah.
The soundtrack to Yoshi's New Island somewhat bearable. Well, not even somewhat bearable, very bearable.
no kazoos in there. I was quite sad by that. Yeah,
yeah, I haven't heard good things about that OST.
Could they have some sort of like Miitomo references, maybe, in terms of music?
Could do.
That seems like a good one, yeah. Especially because they've got that stage based on Tomodachi Life, haven't they? So that seems quite fitting to me that they'd have something.
Even though the game has been pretty much cancelled.
Yeah, it's dead, but you know,
the other
had a good
run. Noisy Notebook from Snipperclips.
Yeah.
That was a cool one to see.
Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, it's a good arrangement. I mean, the one for me, the one I thought was brilliant was the F-Zero medley done by Takanobu Mitsuyoshi, the Daytona USA guy, with which he's done vocals that are completely like you can't understand what he's saying. You know, it's brilliant. I love it. It's so cool. It's just weird, you know.
F-Zero.
Yeah, the last thing I was expecting. You know, the Gallagher medley as well. I thought was good because it gives me some hope that we're going to see a bit more. We're going to see more music from third parties that aren't from the series, that they're sort of no, actually have a fighter, you know,
Mm.
because I feel like you know, Capcom, Sega, especially. I'd like to see some more stuff from their back catalog. Like, all right, there's some great Sonic music. I actually think my favorite thing about Sonic games is the music, to be honest. But
The only
uh,
bearable thing about it.
well, you know, it depends on the game.
Oh.
Leave Sonic Mania alone.
I don't think a Sonic fight is something I want to be involved in. But yeah, I tell you, there better be some music from Sonic Mania in Smash. You know, because that has got a killer
great.
soundtrack. What a
that'd be
soundtrack
great.
that is.
Yeah.
You know,
I would 100% be up for that.
yeah. No, that'd be really good. Studiopolis.
Yeah.
No,
I think that'd be a good
Actually,
choice.
I would love a Studiopolis stage because apart from Green Hill Zone, I think it would be really cool to see a stage from Sonic Mania because that has just been so well
Chemical
loved.
Plant.
Yeah, see, for me, I think the next logical step for another Sonic stage would be like a Casino Night or a Scrap Brain or a Chemical Plant or something.
Yeah,
Something a bit
it's
dark.
got to be one of those three.
Yeah, because I mean, to be fair, like
Death Egg, maybe.
yeah, because I think Windy Hill and Green Hill, they're a bit too similar. You know, like obviously the layout's different, but they got the same vibe, haven't they? You know.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of great Sonic music that doesn't really fit that vibe, I suppose.
No, else we'll just get something from Forces, won't we?
Maybe, I don't know, generic burning background stage. Yeah, I don't know.
The music's okay, but the whole game's just a mess.
See, the thing that I thought was quite sad was that Brawl had tracks from tracks from Sonic R, and it had Supersonic Racing, and I think it had Sonic Boom from Sonic CD, and they didn't show up in Smash 4. But yeah, they're both good ones.
Yeah,
I'd like to see some Sonic CD music in there because that's a personal favourite. Yeah.
I can see that.
Another one I really want is the more Ardeen theme from Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
I think I know the one you're talking about.
It's oh my god, it's just one of the best like overworld themes I think I've ever heard. It's just really just I don't know how to describe it. Like most things I talk about, it seems. But I don't know. I just really want to see some Xenoblade music because because Ace does terrific work. The Ace group did the new remix of Gangplank Galleon. Which of course seems universally loved at this point.
Yeah, that is a cool one.
Yeah.
Little rap section.
But the only remix we got in Smash 4 from Xenoblade Chronicles was the medley theme, which is really nice, really catchy. But I just want to see some individual remixes, like an individual You Will Know Our Names. That's a very popular track.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I think the thing about that medley was that a lot of the tracks that were in it were also there in their original forms.
Yeah.
Like it was stuff like Mechanical Rhythm was like, you know, it was already there.
Whereas Gal Plains sounded very different, I feel. I love the use of guitar in comparison to like the more orchestral, I guess, in the main thing. But I would love to see that just be its own thing almost, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's quite a likely one. I mean, there's everyone seems to want Rex as a character, so I think there'll definitely be some Xenoblade 2 stuff.
I think Xenoblade Chronicles X stuff is likely as well. Because that came out in the West just as Ultimate was being conceived.
Do you reckon there's any chance of characters getting in from that, Matt? Do you reckon?
Something like I'd actually bet Elmer is getting in. No, I don't know anymore actually. I'd say Elmer is a safe bet. I don't think Rex and Pyro are getting in for the base roster. But if there's anybody from Xenoblade, it's going to be Elmer, I feel.
Okay.
Well, what's that? Okay. Does it sound like... It sounds like you know something.
Okay.
I just like trying
No,
to...
I don't know nothing.
It just
seemed... It just... Yeah.
Oh, you said
my dad
Sakurai.
works for Nintendo. My dad works for Nintendo.
Yeah.
No, I'm just thinking, like, if you think of other series in the game and stuff, and you've got, like, Shulk in there already, it just seemed like it could be one they could go into and expand on having characters and links between that game. And lots of Smash Bros. Is also selling the series you might not know about to people as well. So,
exactly.
Fire Emblem, when it first came out, I didn't know a thing about it, and Now I still don't know a thing about it really.
Now it's more Fox than Star Fox.
Yeah. You know Marth though, this is it. I think
Marth,
Smash Bros probably taught people a lot of
Actually-
people. It taught me a lot about Nintendo,
No, can we just talk about this quickly? I am so happy that Martha's got an English dub voice.
Well, I don't know. I'm not
I
sure.
don't know. I think it's if they got rid of the Japanese voice completely, then I would be a bit heartbroken.
They haven't they? Is there? I don't think they've mentioned there being an option
I
to.
hope so, because like they mentioned that Mii's have like the option to choose between 12 different voices.
Right.
So I don't think it'd be out of the realm of possibility, but as someone that has grown to really like Fire Emblem, I feel like Marth having an actual English voice makes him more integrated. The same with like Lucina, Robin, everybody else. So I hope it's the same for Roy as well.
Roy's still in Japanese though, isn't he?
I don't think so.
Is he not? I'll be disappointed.
We haven't seen his voice yet, but I don't think it makes sense for Roy to be still in Japanese because he has received English voice acting for like heroes and stuff.
True. I think it's one of those things where I've got so used to the Japanese voice actors. Like I'll be a little bit sad to not hear them anymore.
It will be sad.
It'd be like, to be honest, like when they changed Ness's voice actor from between Melee and Brawl, I wasn't, I was a little bit off on that, but our things have to change eventually. So
it was just a cool thing I thought, coming with Marth. It was something I hoped, because
it is
like as iconic as it can be, he did feel kind of out of place that he was in Japanese with everyone else. I think Cloud is still Japanese though, judging from the demo, which is weird.
Yeah, see that always seemed like an odd one, but then I've never played Final Fantasy VII. I don't think
I think he definitely has an English voice, unless the voice actor is just really busy. Yeah.
It could be a licensing thing. I don't know. It's complicated with Square Enix, isn't it?
It probably is licensing. That's why we're not really getting any Final Fantasy music in, just because of licensing costs.
Yeah, I mean, going by those numbers they showed in the Big Smash Direct, where they sort of flip through the different playlists, it seems like there isn't any more Final Fantasy stuff. But Street Fighter's gone up from about 4 tracks to about 30 now, I think.
If it doesn't include Guile's theme, either original or new remix.
Oh yeah, that's such an obvious one.
It's such an obvious one.
It goes with everything.
It goes with everything. It'll definitely go with Smash. You know.
Yeah.
But I think the thing is somebody worked out that with that number of tracks, there could potentially be the theme of every character in Street Fighter 2, like both versions, the CSP one and is it CSP or CPS? I never remember. The different arcade versions, anyway. What I really want is I want some stuff from Street Fighter 3 in there, because that's got such a sick soundtrack. So cool. I don't know if you've heard it, but it's just like, it's very un-video gamey. It's got things like, drum and bass, like hip-hop stuff in there, like jungle, it's cool. I want something that hasn't been in Smash before, something a bit different. For that same reason, one of the big series I'd love to see with some music or even a stage is 1080 snowboarding.
Oh yes, that'd be amazing.
I always like the idea of like a sort of like Mute City style like stage of something like Golden Forest from 1080, where you're going down the mountain.
So cool.
You've got
locales.
Stop at different locations on the track. You've got the bits with the houses and stuff like that, and the music in that, especially on the N64. Kenta Nagata did the soundtrack, and he's the same guy who did the soundtrack for Mario Kart 64. So weird, such a weird soundtrack for Nintendo. Loads of sampling in there, vocals.
Adding on to that, why not like Wave Race as well? Things
exactly. Wave Race is like an obvious one, because especially when you got that Wii Sports Resort stage in there, I feel like you stick the Wave Race theme in there. That's a banger. That's a great. If you listen to Wave Race 64's soundtrack now, you can see there's a clear like Wii Sports seems to have taken from it a little bit. I feel
definitely.
I think it's definitely there's definitely that link there, but yeah, those kind of series I think would be great to see in there.
I'm just looking through like the list of assist trophies which have been confirmed so far, and ones which we've been speculating and things like that. I'm so happy that the Arcade Bunny is in there.
Oh
from 3DS like Badge Arcade.
And
it's so funny.
That's the clever.
Yeah, I mean, it just works.
He's a very everyone loves him. He's great. It's a nice.
He's one I wouldn't mind seeing as a character, but I think it does work better as an assist trophy. Thinking about it, kind of thing,
Yeah, see, I feel like he's. I don't know if he's big enough, but I don't know if he's big enough to be a character. But it's nice that he's in there. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm still kind of disappointed that Bomberman's not an actual character.
Yeah, that is a strange one. But
we already know the team's thoughts on Shovel Knight being an assist trophy rather than the character as well. But
I don't know. Do you know? I'm I don't know what you guys think about that, but I'm going to be the sort of the bad cop. Shovel Knight, he hasn't earned his place in Smash Bros. Just yet. He's only had one game. He doesn't deserve it yet. I don't think.
One game.
That's a fair
point. 3
point,
consoles.
I love Shovel Knight. I think it's a brilliant game. Brilliant like take on that sort of NES style platformer. But the fact that he's in as an assist trophy, I think, is a great honour, and I think he's lucky.
Yeah.
You had Commander Video from Bit Trip as a trophy in Smash 4. And,
yes, he is. Yes.
It was nice to see him there because, I really like the Bit Trip games. I played a lot of Bit Trip Runner back when it came out. And I think, to be honest,
Super Meat Boy, and we've got all 3 of them then, haven't we? So.
The Meat Boy guys, they weren't so nice about Nintendo back in the Wii era, were they? So but they it's funny actually because I listened to the last episode that I was on before I came on here, and we actually talked about Meat Boy in that episode, and we were saying, did it come out on the Wii U? None of us knew, but I think it did, didn't it? So
yeah, they got a game on the Switch now as well, I believe.
Yeah,
they've definitely got some on the Switch.
So the curious thing about assist trophies, though, we know that like Shadow's not appeared yet. So far, we don't know if he's an assist trophy or going to be a character. But there's 2 other ones that I sort of like observed on here. They're the same sort of situation. We've got Skull Kid, who hasn't been seen anywhere, whether he's a trophy or not. The other one's Tingle.
Well, Zelda hasn't had a new rep in a while, has it? So
no,
I feel like I'm fine with either of them because I think Skull Kid does seem to be fan favourite and would fit in with the other villains. But I feel like Tingle is more iconic, I feel, because he's been in more Zelda games.
He's had his own,
exactly.
He's had his own game.
I definitely feel like, you've already got a Majora's Mask rep in Young Link. I tell you, if he doesn't have Fierce Deity in his final Smash, I'm not going to be very happy.
That's Ocarina.
I don't know. He used, I mean, in his character trailer, they used the Termina Field arrangement. So I'm going off that.
And you do have the moon being a assist trophy now.
That is good.
So that is very cool. Yeah. Looks really cool.
So I think
that does cause a problem though, because if they've got the Great Bay stage.
Yeah.
What happens on that if you get the assist
Alfonso?
trophy? And
I was about to say, don't worry, leave it to me. Alfonso, he's got it covered. So.
That's like probably one of my favourite Smash memes.
Remember the Miiverse? No Miiverse.
One out.
The other character that has been in other games as assist trophies, who isn't actually been confirmed in this one so far, is Kat and Anna from the WarioWare series. Now,
they could come back. I don't think they'll be fighters.
Could they be fighters though? Like very similar to the way Ice Climbers work.
I don't think so, because I feel like with Ultimate right now, I think they've either got to be big enough characters or they've just got to be fan favourites like K. Rool, Ridley.
Yeah, it seems like a big focus on fan service. So as much as I'd love to see a kind of like, I'd love a WarioWare rep, Jimmy T or Mona or something like that.
Jimmy T.
I feel like if we were to get another WarioWare, it would either be Ashley or Ninefolk. Ninefolk could get in, but I feel Ashley would have been the better choice. And she's
Ashley, there's a lot of there was a lot of outcry for Ashley, but I don't know. I feel like she wouldn't be my go-to WarioWare character. But I think Wario series as a whole, I I think it could be better represented in Smash. I think there isn't enough music from games like Warrior Land, Warrior Land: The Shake Dimension, or Shake It as it was called in the US. That is a phenomenal game. One of Good Feel's best, I reckon.
Right.
And the soundtrack in that is just amazing. It's really, really good. Really good jazz numbers and stuff like that. I think Wario falls into this weird sort of like in between where he's kind of a Mario character, he's kind of a WarioWare character. He's sort of in between three series: WarioWare, Wario Land, and Mario. And I don't know what he sort of. I don't know. I feel like there's almost room for more representation of just him in general. I feel like he's bigger.
Because he's in the party games and like tennis and things like that as well, and it's weird that he's got that different representation in different games, isn't it? He's very a robust character is the best way I can sort of describe him at the moment.
Although to be fair, Mario's pretty similar. I kind of makes me think that when you look at a lot of the music in Smash Bros, from series like Mario's a huge series, so of course every composer's going to jump at the chance to do one of the big themes, do the Mario theme or some music from Super Mario World. But Mario's been in so many different games, so many different spin-offs. I'd love to see music or some kind of representation from some of them. Imagine if we had a track from something like Mario's Picross, or from tennis or something,
right.
Which I guess is kind of a Mario game. He's the umpire. I don't know. But
I'd love to see a bit more like Game Boy representation, so maybe something like that would work. Alleyway, because that's the Mario's
Alleyway, something like that. Yeah, I think he was in Pinball, wasn't he, as well?
He was in quite a lot of Game Boy games.
3D Hot Rally on the Famicom. He drove the car. Yeah, for a Grand Prix.
He was the umpire in tennis, wasn't he, and things like that.
Yeah, umpire in tennis. He was, he was in Grand Prix. I think him and Luigi when he did multiplayer. He's been in everything. But I feel like is he in Kid Icarus? Did I just mishear you?
Tetris.
Tetris. I thought you said Kid Icarus. I was thinking, what?
I
don't know, Matt. He's got this history. There should be more music from Mario sports games.
Why is Tetris Blocks not a character yet? Come on.
It's an odd one. I mean, do you know Tetris is a series? I think it'd make a great stage. The blocks falling down. I'll tell you that's my two. Top third-party series I want to see in Smash: a Tetris as a stage, and I really want to see Space Invaders in there. I feel like it's such an obvious one. They're a huge, huge, huge series. Massive.
It was on the Game Boy and a NES.
It was on the Game Boy. I think it's like, even if it doesn't have that Nintendo connection, it's got enough significance in gaming, like Pac-Man, for example. I could see Space Invaders as a stage, or I could see them as an assist trophy, kind of similar to that. Is it TV game 15, color TV game 15, the Pong thing. You can imagine the invaders. They come down and they're firing down on you or whatever. I think they're like, they've earned it. They're a big deal. They caused a shortage of coins in Japan. So,
cool.
Bosses, because we know boss is gonna be in the game, and we know of Dracula and Rathalos. So far.
Rathalos is great.
Yeah.
Love that.
And
Rathalos
there's
came out of the blue.
4 as well, isn't there?
I feel like with Rathalos, it's weird because like that stage he's on isn't actually a playable stage. It seems like, because it's not part of the 103 confirmed stages. It doesn't feel like it would be its own stage anyway. And with Dracula
that seems
as well,
like it could have some link. Everyone thinks it's got some link to that new mode, the spirits quote unquote thing. But that's an interesting one.
So one of the boss ideas I've had is, and Ollie, you'd love this, is Doshin. Just like Doshin just coming out.
Yeah, bring back Doshin.
You can't make me beat up Doshin. Now Jashin, the hate giant.
You'd be fighting him as a fighter if he was in that case. But I think Doshin will be quietly out there, and he's a giant,
He's a giant. He is.
Just get Platinum working on that. They seem to love giant boss fights.
What if he switches? What if he switches and you can only attack him when he's like the bad one or something? That would work quite well.
Yeah, maybe. I see. I mean, look, Doshin's probably never going to get in as a playable character. I have to accept that. As much as he's my most.
Never.
He's my most. The thing is the guy who made him, Kazutoshi Iida. He's not actually involved in games anymore, so I feel like it's quite unlikely.
Right.
You should follow him on Instagram though. He's always doing weird like live videos of like gigs and stuff. But I feel like it's unlikely. But I'd love to see. I feel like Doshin the Giant would suit a stage really well because it's a game that's all about terrain. It's all about like terraforming. So you could have that. You're on this island. You can have Doshin sort of like raising and lowering the earth. You've got this thing where the villagers build structures in the game. So you can have like houses being built whilst you're fighting as to use as platforms. You've got these natural disasters that come and destroy it all. So, you can easily have it all reset back to nothing to sort of, because, these stages tend to cycle around, don't they? I think that would work, but it's just too niche, I have to just accept that. It's very sad. But I don't know about a boss. I just couldn't bring myself to attack him. I couldn't bring myself to do that.
You just absolutely just falter.
Yeah, I'd never raise my sword or hand or whatever.
I was going to say, what other bosses do you guys want to see then? Like Dracula or Rathalos or Metalface?
I think maybe
they had a couple of like unique characters in Brawl as well, didn't they? The Galleon was in the Subspace Embassy. So I just wonder whether they'll just make some new ones for this game. Maybe, I don't know. It'd be a bit weird, but
they had that master core thing, didn't they?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that kind of something along those lines. Maybe. Yeah, they could do. It could be. Maybe we're going to get a full-on story mode again. You never know.
The problem, we've lost Ridley really as a boss character, so I don't know what happens there. But I
think who else was in Brawl? P.T. Piranha showed up in the Subspace Emissary.
Taboo is one of the weird guy with the wings.
Maybe a Pokemon. Rayquaza was in Brawl.
Rayquaza has already got,
that'd be a cool one to bring back.
I don't know, maybe something.
What about modern games now on the Switch you could have as a boss character? I'm trying to think of anything right now. I suppose you got the Ganon in that, but I suppose you got Ganondorf anyway.
If Arms got representation, there's always that headlock thing. That big head with the arms.
Oh yeah,
that could be a cool item. I think
that could be. I think it could be an interesting. Like if it was like an item that was exclusive to one stage or something. Where one person gets headlock.
It is weird we don't have any representation from Arms yet in Smash, but
I think it might be coming. I feel like that could be like something that they're sitting on.
If not base DLC, then it'll be. If not base roster, it'll definitely be DLC.
I reckon it could be. I reckon it could be base roster. I feel like they would have been working on Arms, and he would have been aware of it probably.
Sure.
You would have thought. I think as everyone always says, Springman with Ribbon Girl as an Echo. I think that's a safe bet. I feel like you can't have one without the other.
Yeah.
Are there any bosses in Odyssey we could have? Because there's usually representation from Mario games in Smash.
Well, we've got the Mario Odyssey stage.
Yeah, I see. I feel like that stage wouldn't be suited to it. But I mean, I don't know who have you got? You've got the Broodals, I guess, but
maybe
I don't know.
That wouldn't really be like. I'm not sure if that would be a satisfying boss fight, would it?
Yeah, you want something big, really, don't you? You want something that will eat.
P.T. Piranhas.
He was in Brawl, wasn't he? Yeah, that was a weird one though, wasn't it? He had those cages in his hands.
Yeah, very strange.
What about Kraid from Metroid? That could be a shout.
That could be a shout. Yeah, he's in.
That's a really good replacement for Ridley as well.
Marks from Kirby. If he's not a fighter.
Kirby's got, I think, a bit of potential, hasn't it? It's got a few big bosses.
Echo Fighters for Meta Knight was mentioned as well. There's a lot of similar characters, isn't there?
I think
him.
I think Galacta Knight that's the one. Yeah, Galacta Knight. Though.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I think so.
I feel like a character that's not really big enough. I don't know. It's like I feel like I mean, to be fair, I think to fight him in Kirby, you've got to pretty much like do everything, haven't you? So don't know. Everyone keeps going on about this bandana Waddle Dee. What's the deal with that? What?
It's just because Waddle Dee is like a popular character. Basically.
I think he's featured as a playable character in some Kirby
in a
games
lot.
as well,
Like he was in Kirby Adventure Wii. He was in Star Allies recently. He's got merch apparently. Just a base Waddle Dee.
I don't know. I think
to be fair, I wouldn't mind seeing any of the Kirby bosses, like the electric cloud dude. I can't remember his name.
Krakow, is it? That would be quite.
or the tree dude's already in the stage, isn't he?
Yeah.
So
DJ Octavio from Splatoon.
that's a great
That'd be
shout.
nice.
Any
That is
Splatoon boss, I think, is big enough, really.
That'd be great.
I think that would be a shout. Yeah, if we're looking at
The new
recent.
one from the Octo stuff, the telephone thing.
Yeah, no spoilers. It's
No
maybe
spoilers.
too soon for spoilers. I don't know.
It's been out a while.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. I haven't got time to play it,
Hmm.
unfortunately. But
Uh,
maybe something from Bayonetta. I don't know. I'm not really big on
Bayonetta would
Bayonetta,
be
but
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
hopefully.
I'm
I
not
tell you what,
sure
you
how the hardcore community will feel about that.
well, a boss maybe if they're fighting it, maybe.
Yeah.
There's always that big there's that Street Pass stage, isn't there?
Yeah.
Based on that, I know it's called Find Me in America, isn't it? Street Pass Quest, that's the one.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it should actually be called. Yeah, that there's that big thing, isn't there? That not the evil lord or whatever. That's pretty boss like,
That could happen.
That's a good shout.
Something from Sonic. That's a lot of
Like
potential.
Dr. Eggman, yeah.
Robotnik,
One of those big robots of his.
Mhm.
Metal Sonic.
Yeah, that's a
'Cause
bit.
you could
forgetting
link
Metal
him
Mario.
up with Metal Mario.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
very
no.
It's very fan
Metal
fiction.
Mario and Metal Sonic. Oh my god.
God, no.
Yeah.
Please not. What else? For assist trophies, I wouldn't mind seeing, like, of course, some Inazuma 11 representation. Maybe like Axel Blaze doing Fire Tornado, and it's just like one really powerful shot.
I could see that working. I could
I
see that
know.
working. Maybe I feel like Mark Evans or Endo. He's more of a trophy sort of material.
Yeah.
But
But yeah,
If Cloud's staying in the game, what about Sephiroth?
what the
No.
one-winged angel?
oh, that'd
Yeah.
be a cool boss. That would be.
He could work as an assist trophy as well. I reckon.
That's
Yeah,
a fair point.
yeah.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool to see the assist trophy from Final Fantasy. Actually, that's a good
Mm.
shout. We haven't really got anything like that. Have we?
I
know
suppose
it's
there are those enemies, aren't there? And well, not really enemies. You can't fight them, but what are they? The summons or whatever in Midgar.
Yes, that's
Mm.
true. But what if we had like a Chocobo or a Cacta or something stupid like that?
Wow.
That'd be pretty cool.
mm.
Thousand Needles from Cacta.
They've shown up in Nintendo games. Mario Slam Basketball.
Oh yeah.
And
Mario Sports
maybe
Mix.
Fortune Street, Dragon Quest. Why isn't a Dragon Quest representation?
Oh, yeah. There has to be some, like maybe like a
Because
King
it's so-
Slime as a boss.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like that series is big enough in Japan that it could get a playable character. I think
Yeah.
I wouldn't rule it out.
It's
Who that would be, I don't
fairly
know.
big in America as well. I just don't think it did so well in Europe. I think that's why.
I think it's definitely getting a lot bigger. Like they're actually localizing the games now.
I think
Yeah.
it's
New
still,
ones just come out.
I think it's still big as a whole though. Dragon Quest.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Like, in terms of,
massive.
like, the history
Huge.
of JRPGs.
Yeah, it's got that Famicom links as well. In fact, it's got a Nintendo history without a doubt. Even though it sort of went to Sony for a bit, but Monster Hunter started off on the PSP.
I'm also pushing for some Layton content. Of course, like Layton's
Yeah.
my number one pick for playable fighter.
That'd
But
be cool.
it's just it's a crime that he wasn't even represented in Smash 4.
Yeah, even a bit of music because that's
Yeah.
got some good music in it.
Or just a single trophy, because I
Trophy.
feel like the series itself is just so big to the DS era
Yeah,
and to Level 5 itself.
yeah.
I feel-
Layton and Phoenix Wright are
Yeah,
both.
If we're
Phoenix
going
Wright as well.
for
Yeah.
if we're going for like Capcom like characters, we've got to have Beautiful Joe.
Oh, maybe. I
Yeah,
don't
something
you-
I can see. I thought that's good, like assist trophy material.
Really
trophy,
obscure.
material.
Yeah,
like-
yeah,
more
big
assist
time.
trophy. Okami,
Yeah.
He was on the GameCube. It counts.
GameCube and DS as well. I think is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's on the GameCube for definite. I don't know about DS, but yeah.
Yeah.
I know Okami was on DS. Or at least, like, Okami
Wii
Den,
as well.
I think,
Kami
yeah.
Den. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that just came out on Switch as well.
Mm.
I think. Yeah. See, I feel like
That
like
could be a good one.
Capcom have got. I mean, they've got two characters. They've got Mega Man and they've got
Ryu.
Like,
Yeah.
I feel like there's potential for another Capcom character to appear, but I don't know if they'd be playable though. I think it would have to be in some other form, But like, they've got a big history
Like
with
M. Bison as boss, maybe.
maybe. Yeah, I don't know if he's big enough though. That's the only thing.
Hmm.
Like,
I think we're going too far into it. We're eventually going to get.
Yeah,
to
we're getting really,
Shrek,
like,
aren't we?
We're getting too
go
into it. Yeah. So, any final thoughts or hopes or anything?
Uh,
I hope we get a really good game with lots of representation for lots and lots of different games, and we all really enjoy it, and no one whinges about it at all. Ha!
I agree.
Oh.
I agree. It's hopeful.
You
but,
know that will never happen, Jack.
Yeah. What I want is it to come out and people to just be like, "Thanks, Sakurai. I'm really happy."
I really enjoyed it. It's really great.
I think no matter what happens, it's going to be. I think it's going to be good, isn't it? It's got everything from the past games in, and they've all been stellar. So
It's more than enough, really.
Yeah, he's spoiling us. All the little things.
If it isn't broken, don't fix it. Is the sort of main thing, isn't it? But they just chuck everything at it. So you can't really complain too much. There's no tripping in the game as well, so it's even better.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's probably for the best that tripping's gone. Although, no Brawl's my favourite Smash game, but that
more so than Smash 4.
I like Smash 4. I think Smash 4 is like the peak of the series in terms of the gameplay, in terms of roster.
Right.
But I really have Brawl in terms of like what it added. Like the leap from Melee to Brawl was massive. The amount of extra content. Things like music, especially. Like that's probably, I reckon, one of the best game soundtracks of all time. Smash Bros. Brawl. Just the volume of music there. I don't mean like how loud it is. I mean how much of it there is.
Stuff. Yeah.
The arrangements. That's always a big part of Smash for me. Is how seeing that stuff that I love and seeing it treated with such care. Hearing that song you really like, or getting a sticker of that thing from that game that you played, and not many people talk about it.
Stickers.
Really like bring back stickers. I'll fight.
I wouldn't mind that. I'd rather collect stickers over custom moves. I think.
I don't mind getting stickers as long as they don't change like stats and things. It's just stupid.
All that stuff. I don't know anyone who bothered with that stuff. But for me, it's like, look, then there isn't going to be a character from Hotel Dusk or something, but there might be a sticker,
Yeah.
Stunt Race FX, something like that. It needs a sticker.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Before we move on, we do have some, because this section wasn't already long enough. We do have some questions, some thoughts as well. Rule Breaker XO1 asks, what do you guys think of Banjo-Kazooie's chances of being in Smash Bros. Ultimate?
I still want it to happen. I've heard rumours this week of the fact that they apparently that Rare had some sort of thing in terms of copyright for King K. Rool, but I don't know if this is actually true now, reading into it. So if it was true, and the fact they had some sort of copyright thing still there, I would have more confidence of Banjo-Kazooie appearing in Smash. But I don't know. I mean, Echo character for the duck kind of thing, a duck and dog, maybe. I don't know, but
I don't know.
That one
their own
fit.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it is like a bird and another animal,
and
but I think that's where the similarities end. You know.
And I don't think they do a character injustice rather, by having it be an Echo character of a different franchise, especially for Banjo-Kazooie.
I couldn't see it.
It deserves its own character.
Exactly.
But if I'd rather they had it in like the old 64 style though, rather than like the Xbox style, because it just looks weird.
I think they would have it. They would be faithful, because we've seen that with Mega Man, we've seen that with Simon and Pac-Man.
This is true.
Well.
Yeah.
He's been quite faithful to bringing that nostalgia back.
Yeah.
So I think if he did have the choice, he'd go with older designs and bringing it up to modern day. I do think he has a high chance though. Well, I think they have a high chance, because I think this does seem to be a game where he's just answering all of these big fan requests.
Yeah, people want him. If we're going to go on for the fan service thing, then maybe he's likely. But I think I feel like there are other Nintendo characters that I'd rather see before
Oh,
another
yeah.
third-party character. That's my take on it. I mean, look,
Right.
again, going back to the last time I was on, I remember Jack giving me and Matt a grilling because we hadn't played Banjo-Kazooie, and
Oh,
I don't think
can't
either of
believe
us
it.
have played it since then. So,
Oh,
maybe we
it's
don't have that
hard work.
connection. I know I don't have that sort of connection, but I
I'll
don't know.
bring. I'll find you a 64 and I'll make both of you play it all the way through. So
I wouldn't mind that,
that's,
Uh,
we can do that.
it'd be
Let's
interesting. No, because would if Banjo Kazooie and Kazooie appeared, would they be the first characters from a kind of a Western franchise?
Mm.
Would that be right?
I think
I
from a
can't
Western
think of
franchise, yeah.
yeah,
So I
which is
think,
sort of like
yeah, we do have like Western-made characters like Diddy, King K. Rool, Dark
that.
Samus.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
true. Yeah,
But
but
an actual franchise, I think Banjo-Kazooie would be the first,
hmm,
which would be nice to see.
yeah, I don't know. I wonder if I mean, I know there's been things with crossplay, and I know that they've been nice to each other on Twitter and stuff. But I wonder, would Nintendo as a company be willing to cooperate with Microsoft to that extent?
Mm.
It remains to be
Probably
I
seen.
not.
think so.
I mean, they're doing crossplay a lot and things, so maybe they're a bit more
Yeah,
friendly at the
Maybe.
moment. I don't know, but I don't know. They've
put it
said
this
before
way.
in comments and things, isn't they, that they've still had conversations and worked together and things.
Yeah, they're not
So,
slagging each other off anymore like Sega and
no.
Nintendo used to do. So, Sonic's in there, so
That's something.
anything can happen,
Wow.
I guess.
Moving on. Mythical 1 has a lot that he's added. Actual character skins. Possibly. I think they're more costumes though. Yeah.
When he says actual character skins, does he mean like that terrifying picture of Mario who's but a real person that used to go around on the internet in the 2000s? Do you know the one I'm talking about? You know that
I
one
have
where he's
no idea.
he's sort of
I
like
want
looking
to
down
find
a
out.
little bit. It's freaky.
Oh fuck. No,
Actual
I think it's
character
stuff like the Mario. Well, of course, like you're just joshing about. But
Joshing.
it's more stuff like the Mario wedding costume builder
Hmm.
outfit.
Yeah.
I like to see that, but I don't think it's necessary.
It's not necessary, but I would like it. It
It
would
would
be
be
nice.
nice, yeah.
I remember, but I don't know. I remember modding Brawl a lot back in the day because there was a big appeal of having different costumes and stuff. Oh, look, Donkey Kong's got his outfit from Mario Strikers on. I kind of some of that stuff's nice. I think it depends on the character though. Like you've got Link with the classic tunic. I think something like that makes a lot of sense because it's like people know Link as having that look. It's like Wario with the two costumes. I like something like that. I feel like you can't have just one and not the other. But then stuff like the Mario, the Mario Maker and the wedding, that's a nice little bonus. But they could have chosen from thousands of Mario outfits.
I think
True.
like Odyssey and Mario Maker are just such big games though. It's nice that they got a
Yeah.
reference.
No, it is definitely. Yeah, I like that.
As it says, training mode with better control over CPU actions, hitbox visualization, frame by frame. A lot of more competitive in nature, these requests.
Yeah. Yeah.
But still, I think so because the training mode does seem vastly improved.
Yeah, it looks
Like
cool.
the actual grids, yeah. It actually feels like a training, like a lab.
Yeah,
mode-
it looks very stylish.
A mode on the small stage where you have to hit an opponent into the air and prevent them from landing on the stage for as long as possible.
That's very, very specific. That is.
Yeah.
That's too specific.
I mean, you
It's
could just
especially-
do that if you wanted.
You could be there forever.
Like especially when you can air dodge,
Yeah.
I can see that them being
Yeah.
over quick. Shareable playlists though, you could create your own music
That's
playlist.
an interesting idea.
I think that'd
Yeah.
be quite cool. Like sharing them with your mates, like on Spotify or something. That'd be nice.
It'd be
Not
cool.
through
I'd like
Spotify,
this.
but
Yeah.
like-
Well, I'd like the soundtrack to just get like a proper release. Like that would be
Oh
nice.
yes, that'd be amazing. Just release the soundtracks by series. So you got the
Yeah,
Castlevania
or,
album one. You got the
just do a big
Mega Man.
5-disc sort of.
Oh,
I'd be up for that. I reckon.
that'd be beautiful. Better photo taking mode during pause screen.
Yeah, that'd be nice. we're in the age
Yeah, I
where,
agree.
I mean, look at Spider-Man. Everyone's sharing their pictures and
Yeah.
stuff. Smash could definitely be like that as well.
Each fighter just have their own selfie pose.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That's what Smash needs, a selfie camera. Yeah.
It will never happen though, because the side you look on, from like the way you view the stages in Smash, the other side is always completely black and blank. So you'll never see a selfie camera that way. You'll always be focused on a 2D plane.
Yeah, exactly. Here's a question: how does Mr. Game & Watch take a selfie?
Oh Christ!
Ooh.
Yeah, there you go.
Bring up the big
if you're interested to look at more stages of Smash and what they look like from like better fields of view, check out what's it called now? I can't remember what it's called now. I had it right then and it's lost it.
Is it that Boundary Break? Is that it?
Boundary Break. That's
Boundary Break. Yeah. I can't remember the guy. Is it Shizz?
Shizzers.
We're not doing a very good plug here, but
But
he does good stuff.
His Smash Bros stuff is amazing. Like you could literally find out so many weird things from his videos on Smash. So there you
go. Stage builder with more Nintendo assets and variable mechanics. This is what I want. This is actually one of my wants for Ultimate, to be fair.
So rather than like just the default
Square,
actual like Nintendo references and things. That's a good idea.
Like mushrooms, Poke Floats.
It would be nice, but I think you could just you could make a whole game that's just that. You could put in a million different assets. I think you keep the stage builder simple. But then this is the thing, because you got the Brawl stage builder where you're really confined by those grids, but then maybe the fact that it's confined makes it more interesting. And then you've got Smash Wii U stage builder where you draw a line and then your whole stage deletes itself.
Exactly.
But I don't know. I think it'd be nice to see it back though. It's just a nice thing to have.
Yeah.
Well, there were so many stages in the game. Are you gonna want to make any? So.
Yeah, I'd be fine if it doesn't return, but if it does return, then I do want to see it actually improved upon. Online leaderboards and match requests. I think this is fairly standard request, and I think it'd be nice to see. That's it.
Yeah. They've had that little sidebar thing, haven't they, on the menu? So I feel like they can put stuff in there, can't they? So
yeah, maybe that is what that mail icon is for then.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
They need to just sort out their online, basically, But we'll have to wait and see.
A mode where you can limit any number of moves from everyone or specific characters.
I don't know about that. I don't know. You're messing with the game's design.
Yeah.
I think, I think that's going a little bit
too far.
Yeah.
It would take too long to do for every character as well. I don't think
that. Sakurai would be literally putting in a mode where you can question all of his decisions. So.
And then finally, King of the Hill mode, which could be quite fun.
How does that
idea.
Explain to me?
Maybe.
What do they mean by King?
I guess it's just
the King of the Hill in mostly in shooting games is basically you control a certain area, and you've got to try and prevent the enemy from entering that area. And you basically get a timer, and say you start with a minute. Every time you're in the King of the Hill area, that will start reducing, and you win by getting to zero, something like that.
Right, so like the one with the towers in Splatoon, right? Is that?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. How would you guys think that would how would you see that in Smash though?
I guess it's just lights up an area on the stage, and you will have to fight for that area, and then counts down when you're the only one on that area, maybe.
All right.
You could do that, or you could do the first one to reach that area first gets a point or something like that. Yeah, it would work. Yeah. First, if you have it on a large stage, the Earthbound stages, for example, that would work really well. Newport City, that would work really well. But not so much on the smaller stages, I suppose. But...
They should just bring back Smash Run, but have all 4 people be in it at the same time. Because that has that, there's certain area there'll be a bonus or whatever, and you're racing to get to it.
I would like Smash Run in this version.
Yeah, I played a lot of that.
Really fun.
Yeah.
I wish the map was bigger, to be honest. I feel like I've seen it all.
I wish it wasn't replaced by Smash 2 on the Wii U version.
So you mean that the mode everyone played to unlock the Pac-Land stage and then never touched again? Again, do you know what? I feel like if you had the right set of people playing that, who were all patient enough to play it, feel like it could be fun.
It could be
But
fun.
I've never had that situation. We just want to play Smash Bros. So
I've played it a few times on multiplayer. It's okay. It's nothing amazing.
Too complicated, I think. All the little,
but it could work for King of the Hill as an extra mode. I do like that.
Could do.
Yeah.
And then finally, Rose FDF. So there's assist trophies, other fighters from Punch Out.
Yes.
I think Punch Out is quite big enough to warrant assist trophies. I'm thinking maybe King Hippo may be quite good.
Glass Joe.
I love Glass Joe. King Hippo, I think, though, he's really distinct in his look, and his size as well. I think I love Punch Out.
He'd be a good boss character.
Yeah, he could
That's
actually.
Point, yeah.
He's big enough, for the boxing ring stage or something. That'd be quite interesting. But yeah, I feel like, as much as I love Punch Out, like they definitely couldn't have a second playable character, but an assist trophy or something, or more music from Punch Out is a one I'm really hoping for in Ultimate, because you had that boxing ring stage and there was kind of a big deal made about it. But there wasn't a huge selection of Punch Out music. You got Super Punch Out, which has an insane soundtrack, such a cool soundtrack. An arrangement from that would be great. And then Punch Out Wii's soundtrack it's just crazy. It's like you got all these character themes with the different sort of like flair to them. Like some of them would be good in Smash. Glass Joe, I like that sort of gypsy jazz kind of like French sounding version of the Punch Out theme. I'd like to.
I'd like him as a really rubbish assist trophy. Like he can
I was about to
keep attacking until he gets hit like once and he just like dies straight away.
He needs to do that. You know what I'm talking about? Where he gets hit in the stomach and he sort of like wobbles from side to side and falls over. Yeah, that would be. You hit him and he just goes down.
Right. Yeah.
Cool.
So that's about it for this section. We've gone on. We've gone on for ages. Yet again, it's just another typical day for us.
I'm blaming Ollie this time.
I feel like I'm a little bit to blame.
Good job.
I do like a tangent. I'm not going to lie, but
cool,
you
Matt.
can edit it down, right?
Yeah, Matt.
Cut out some of my fat.
Sure, I can.
Two-parter, like Harry Potter. Charge him twice.
Oh Christ. So with that, let's move on to our final section. So this is the final section of the podcast right now, mainly for shoutouts, listener questions and the like. Listener questions, we covered some in the last section, but there's no general ones as always. Huzzah. Ollie, as a guest, do you have any shoutouts you'd like to give out?
I'm going to keep it very, very brief, which is unlike me. There's a guy on YouTube, Insane in the Rain Music is his channel. Right?
Yes!
He does these killer jazz arrangements of game music. He's just done an arrangement of Pollyanna from Mother. Go and listen to it. It's incredible. Really, really good.
Thank you.
Brilliant vocal on there. Just very, very, very like sort of jazz funk, jazz fusion. Yeah, go and check it out. Really good.
I'm not
big fans of Insane in the Rain here.
I knew you had great taste, Ollie.
Well, I like jazz. I'm like the B out of a B movie. I like jazz.
He's probably like my favourite video game cover artist on YouTube.
No, he's very good. Yeah, he does. Like his arrangements are really like tasteful. He did a really good version of Coconut Mall that I keep going back to.
I was just about to mention that.
Great brass section. The One Ups is another good video game jazz cover band. And the Consoles as well. They've done some kind of more obscure. Yeah, Super Soul Brothers is another one. Their album, is it Live at Iggy's? I think it is.
So.
Yeah, really, really good. Really good version of Aquatic Ambience from Donkey Kong Country. Wow. So, yeah, game jazz music. It's the future,
Yeah, I'd want to double as that shout out as well, if that's all right. If I could piggyback on that. Of course. Thank you. Jack, would you like to go next?
Yeah, I've got a couple. Just want to give a quick shout out to Nintendo Impact Gaming, which is our good friend Barry. He was lucky enough to have Grant Kirkhope and David Wise as guests on his latest podcast, available on YouTube and I believe other places, so you have to double check with him where we're available. But yeah, it was a really interesting conversation to have all three of them there and just talking about games they've been on and music they've made, and it's a really cool look at that sort of side of it, especially when you've got both of David Wise and Grant Kirkhope in the same situation because they don't often have that many conversations together. So it's well worth a look. It's only about 40 minutes long, and yeah, really interesting. I just quickly added to the you were saying about like music and like covers and stuff. I just want to give a shout out to Loader as well, who does so many great remixes of like 8-bit tunes and things like that, and it takes it from like original games and just remixes it into his own style. And there's so many good ones I've used for like previous videos and stuff as well. So check him out on YouTube. It's youtube.com/Loader, Loeder. And that's all my shout outs. So Matthew, any more shout outs for you?
Just a quick one. I'll say quick, but I can't ever be too sure with that word.
Don't make the mistake I did and commit yourself to a quick shout out that ends up being long. So
never made that fatal mistake. Yeah, my shout out goes to Game Explain, who recently surpassed 1 million subscribers. As someone who kind of wants to get into this this realm, I guess, this industry, I do actually quite look up to what?
We're nearly at 100 subscribers.
Yeah,
so
100. That's hardly anything.
Hey, don't be defeatist.
I know.
You got to start something.
It's just like in comparison to Game Explain, it's just like
you know what those guys do. They do really good work.
Exactly.
They're really honest about it. They deserve it, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Ollie just summed it up better than what I was gonna say.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's cool. I would have gone on for like 10 minutes just trying to get out one sentence. So it's cool.
Wow.
Yeah, like I do. Yeah, I do generally look up to Game Explain's work. As someone that does want to get into games journalism. It would be honoured to have them on the show one day. Probably won't happen for a very long while. But hopefully. Just another congrats to Game Explain for that. Another shout out for EGX because I will be there on the Thursday, like Jack will be there on the Saturday.
Come say hello. I'm not scary.
Right, I think that about wraps it up.
I think so. I think we've got there.
Well, we've got there.
It's been a good episode.
3 hours
It's been
later.
a really good episode.
3 hours later.
What a chat. It was good. No,
We've done
thanks
it.
very much for having me again.
No.
I always enjoy coming on here. So.
Well, thanks again for
Thanks
coming
for coming on, Ollie.
You've been a great guest.
Oh, cheers. Thanks.
Yeah, I hope I was good enough guest. I'm always trying to perfect being a better host, but I don't know.
Practice.
Good host,
it takes
Don't worry.
practice.
That's true.
So, I guess normally I'd plug my website minusworld.co.uk.
Yeah.
I've just done it, so there you go. I haven't updated it in a while, but go and read there. You can go and read about architecture in Pokemon and Splatoon fashion and things like that. So if you're into that kind of stuff, then it's there. And you can follow me on Twitter at minusworld. And at Oliver Jameson on Instagram, because that's where all the cool kids are apparently. So
I think I still need to get an Instagram.
I'm not on Instagram
I'm
either,
not
so
sure.
we're not cool kids.
oh, sorry.
No,
There you go.
that's cool.
Homework.
Go play Banjo-Kazooie. Homework.
Jack, where can people find you?
People can find me on the internet at YouTube. We can find me at youtube.com/Gorney7789. You can find me on Twitter at Gorney7789. You can find me on Facebook at Gorney7789. And you can also find me literally plugging away everything on Hampshire Gaming Hub and Southampton Game Fest at the moment. So you might have heard me at the start of the podcast doing some baloney. But yeah, it's all coming together. We're slowly starting to organise tournaments and things, so that's looking fun. So come check that out. If you're in the south of England or nearby, come down and meet us and play some games and tournaments and stuff. So cool. Cheers, guys. Matthew,
Cheers.
where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Acegibbo, Acegibbo. Yeah, if you want, I'd probably tweet about a lot of things like Danganronpa, of course. Which I don't even tweet about. I just want to give into the joke once before Jack can steal it. You can find the Nintendo Podcast System on a variety of places. Social media wise, you can find us on Twitter and Facebook. Just look for N Podcast System. Links will be in the description below as always. Gmail, email us if you so wish. If you're still into sending emails, they'll be in the description below as well. You could tune in to the show on YouTube, Podomatic, iTunes podcasts, and Spotify. Just look for our name and it should pop up there. And as always, links will be in the description
Do a
below.
Google.
Do a Google search. That should bring up results fairly well. Right. Ollie, what is our closing music?
Our closing music is from 1080 Snowboarding, which I talked about the soundtrack a bit earlier. Kent Nagata. It's a song called "Work Your Body." That's all I'm going to tell you. You can listen to it, savor it.
Oh,
Yes.
Jack knows the words. It's a banger. It's a classic.
It's a banger.
Very, very cool
Low-key
soundtrack.
slaps. Right, so that about does it for episode 57. Another bumper-sized episode of the show. Ollie, thanks again so much for coming on the show. It's been a real
Thanks very
pleasure.
much for having me. It's been a
Yeah.
pleasure for me as well. I don't know. I enjoyed it. It was great.
The pleasure's all ours.
The pleasure. Yeah. That's what. Yeah,
It's all
that's
of
what I
ours.
meant.
Right, so that ends it for episode 57 of Nintendo Podcast System. We hope you all enjoyed and happy gaming.
Happy gaming. 1080.